curious to hear from him.
How's he doing, man?
How's he doing?
What happened?
I mean, Jenks.
How are those clubs doing?
Yeah.
What's going on? I mean, I'm hearing too many disturbing things. I'm losing faith in you, brother.
Yeah, well, what happened, Howard, was I went away for a while.
What do you mean you went away?
Here's the story. Captain Jenks has it.
The whole story.
Well, let me first just update people because they might not know what they're doing. Captain Jenks, of course, is the phony phone call guy. You know, we like him and all that. He's been making phony phone calls for years, and we play him here on the show. Then he started a little business where he'd show up at these bars.
And he's been doing it for years.
And do like Howard Stern Trivia Night and all these things. So
around Philly.
He would sign contracts with these bars. Next thing I know, the guy has stiffed about 20 bars, I don't know, 10 bars, I don't know how many.
Is something going on in his life now? Because he's been doing this for a long time, and we never heard anything bad.
So we started,
and then all of a sudden.
We started to get a lot of letters from bars saying that Captain Jenks was guaranteeing them mentions and guaranteeing them that he's going to show up and do a trivia night, and then they'd give him money, and then he wouldn't show up.
Right, somehow he was getting paid up front.
And I refused to believe it. But now I do believe it because I've seen too much evidence against Captain Jenks and gotten too many letters.
You've seen the evidence.
Yeah, Jenks. I mean, really. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, pal, but that's not cool.
Howard, was it was basically a situation where, I was chugging along. I mean, but I also had addiction problems.
Yeah.
And as a result of that, basically what happened, it came down to, first of all...
What are you addicted to? You have no money.
Yeah, I was like, what is this?
Well, you have to understand something, Howard. There's no... I have my preference, you know what I'm saying, but it wasn't about preference. If you have an addiction problem...
Jenks, you're being very cryptic. What are you addicted to?
My preference was prescription painkillers.
Okay.
All right? But if you're an addict to everything. You can't just stop one or the other. You just stop it all.
Right. So what were you doing?
I was doing prescription painkillers.
Okay. But you said you were doing it all. So what else were you doing?
Well, prescription painkillers, drinking, stuff like that.
Well, Jax, I remember a few years ago you called the show and you'd said you had just taken an Oxycontin and you wondered if I ever did because it made you feel incredible.
Exactly.
Do you remember saying that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Did it start before then or after that? Because it made it sound like you just took one and were high.
It was going on for a while.
Uh-huh. And is that what you were...
Obviously, that type of lifestyle will catch up with you. And what was happening was then my car went, and, I mean, rent gets, not paid and this and that.
Well, that's like, Chris Rock told Howard, if Artie's really fucked up, if you fire him, he'll be broke in 3 months.
Right.
But so what were you buying, man? You were buying Vicodins and Oxys and all that shit?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I don't understand. You're saying now that you got so strung out you couldn't pay. You were buying so many pills you couldn't pay your rent.
Couldn't pay my rent. I'm just saying.
Did you lose your job?
Everything's gone. Today's the last place that I'm in my house. As of today.
You mean you can't? Wait a second. You can't be on Oxycontin and work at a gas station?
Well, you can't be an addict and continue. It has to stop.
Here's what happened, Howard. All that shit, that's all heroin. It's just in pill form. It's opiate.
Exactly.
So you get addicted to it like you get addicted to heroin. That's how I started.
But you think you'd be able to keep a garage job.
But what happens is, in other words, first you need 10 to get high. Then you need 20. Then without 20, you're not even high. You're sick.
Right.
You're in withdrawal. So then you need 25 just to feel normal. Right. And then you want to be high again because you're an addict. So then there's no stopping it. So you'll start stealing from everywhere. Right. And
Artie understands perfectly.
So first you got to go through withdrawals, and then you got to go to detox. Did you get Subutex, or is that too expensive for you? That's probably too expensive for you.
Well, see, that's the thing.
So wait a second. I don't mean to keep interrupting, but let me stay on topic here. So how did you get into this whole thing with stiffing all these bars? Like, why didn't you just show up and do the bar appearance and get more money?
Well, the first thing that goes is my car.
Yeah.
And
so you can't get to her.
So what I tried to do was rent a car every week, so that I could at least get to the appearances. And by doing that, that's opens up a whole nother can of worms. Whereas, you got to pay a lot of money to rent a car for a week.
I could paint an exact picture of what he was doing. Probably he because what happens is when you feel all right, you make plans.
Right.
I'll be there, I'll be there. And then, I don't know, this is the genius part of this. I don't know how in the fuck he got these bars to pay him in advance. I mean, I do stand-up and, you know.
You have to wait.
With the most legit people, and they don't want to send you something in advance. So I don't know. That's the genius part. But anyway, he somehow gets them to send him money. Then he blows it with pills, and then when the time comes to do the gig, he's strung out or he can't make it.
It shows you what a bright guy he is, that he can get this business going and get money in advance, but he doesn't want to apply it to work. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is the bottom line, what it came to is, nobody really knew. I didn't tell anybody. But what it came down to is I finally did go to people that were in my life that were, family, close friends, explain the situation, and basically what happened was it was like an intervention, and I went away to rehab.
Now, do you owe Steve Langford an apology?
No, he's still mad at Steve.
Why? Steve was telling the truth.
Yeah, but look, you don't want the truth to be known.
No, the thing with Steve was the whole Steve thing was it was a catalyst. I mean, it initially turned out that I missed one or two. But then it got worse as the result went on because
Jenks, you're still in a bit of a denial.
Right.
I mean,
no, because I'm saying I couldn't get bookings.
Well,
that's not true because you had Jenks. I know because we saw like 8 or 9 people before you went to rehab that were bookings that you didn't show up to, and I can't believe. So you got those bookings and you didn't make it there.
Right. Yeah. So Jenks.
Right,
so here's the question. So now you're telling me you're homeless?
Yeah, Howard.
Yeah.
Jenks is getting out today. Right?
No, I'm homeless, but I'm sober.
He's getting out today, but he has nowhere to go. He lost the place that he was living, and he was telling me for whatever reasons he can't go live with his parents, so he's probably going to end up in one of those sober houses.
How come you can't live with your parents?
Well, Howard, they're not in the best of health, and they're retired, and it's not a situation where it's not an option.
How do you have money for a sober house?
You don't have money for that. I mean, you just got to do what you got to do to make it. I know I'm going to go to meetings today.
But how do you go to a sober house if you don't have money to pay for a sober house?
You got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying?
What does that mean?
We don't know what you're saying.
He doesn't have to pay for it.
He does not know. I spoke to him earlier this morning. He doesn't know where he will be sleeping tonight. Is that right, Jenks?
That's correct.
But initially, I don't think you have to pay for a sober house initially.
Right. You got to do your best.
Where are you right now?
Well, this is my last morning here.
Oh man.
So
that's rough.
I don't even have any heat in my house. I mean,
Can't he move into your screening room, Gary, with the bar and the?
Right. If you move one of the stools, could Jenks be one of the stools?
So Jenks, you got to go get a job.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Well, where's he going to work though? I mean,
Gas station.
He's got like a bad reputation. He can't get a recommendation now.
Which is why he might be mad at Steve Langford. But anyway,
I just want to ask James a question. We figured out that there's like 8 or 9 appearances that you didn't show up to. So where did that money go to your habit, or where did that money go to?
Well, renting cars. I was chugging along, and like I told you, Gary.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense. You were making enough money where in the past you were making a profit. So now you got that money and you go to the appearances. How did you lose it all?
Oh, it all goes to the pills, sure.
He says he was chugging along, but he was chugging along stiffing people.
Yeah, right. He'd start doing nasty
scamming.
Shit. Hey, where would you get the pills? From a dealer? Would you try to scam like pharmacy shit? Like, how would you get the pills?
I never scammed a pharmacy, but you can get anything off the street, Artie.
Yeah, but how much were you paying for it?
It gets expensive.
How much is one Oxycontin?
Well, I mean, on the street, you can get it for something like $20, $30, $40.
$40 a pill.
The pill, yeah.
Wow.
So
those
you
are
need 10
good
pills. That's one appearance.
See, that's the thing. That's why people graduate. See, I never graduated to heroin, but that probably my therapist at the rehabilitation center said that would have been my next step.
Yeah, but that probably would have been a good move for you.
Yeah, actually, that makes sense to go on heroin.
Better for your liver.
Economically, it's a good idea.
What?
Yeah.
And now, for like were you taking 30 milligram Oxycontins?
80s.
Oh my God! And so you would need 10 80s a day type of thing?
Something like 6.
Yeah. Wow, 80 milligrams. That's 400 milligrams.
But the bottom line is here.
Did you ever resort to like blowing guys to get money?
No, never happened.
Good.
All right.
But the bottom
right
line
size
is
for
here is that I just wanted to, clean myself up and sober up. And what I'm doing now is just trying to get myself back on my feet.
All right, good.
And I want everybody to know that I had appearances with. I'll do the appearances. I'll do whatever I got to do to make it up.
You will honor your appearances.
It was never my intention to not show up.
You're a good man, Jenks. I'm pulling for you.
I'm just doing my best to get everything back on my feet again.
Yeah, it's
all
bad.
right. All right.
Prescription pills are bad shit.
It's just I go to meetings all the time and stuff like that. And
well, I had no idea you were struggling with this, but I am very, very.
Nobody did.
I'm very, very happy to hear from you because I was worried about you, and I'm glad that you're straightening out your life. All right.
Thanks.
Jenks, I may have
Keep
to
it on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, Jenks, I may have to call a station and say that you're dead and see if they'll report it, like you did with me, because now it looks like you have the same problem, don't you?
They have the death pull on me.
Jenks is a good guy.
I can relate what you were going through by listening to, you know what I'm saying?
Well, thank you for relating to it back then by calling a news station and saying I'm dead.
I never did that.
It sounds to me like Jenks has hit rock bottom.
Exactly.
This is what they call it, Howard. Yes, when you've lost everything, that's a bottom.
No. Blowing a guy, that's going to be rock bottom. And he says he hasn't done that.
With Jenks, now he's going to be on the comeback trail. I hope when he hits the heights again, when he's on top like he used to be. When
Doesn't need to celebrate.
When he was working at the gas station and making these bar appearances. I hope when he hits the heights again, he doesn't let this get to his head.
Because
Howard,
remember,
there was never a gas station.
What?
Oh, really?
What did you do?
See, well, the thing is any place that I worked didn't want me to come out and say that who I was.
Right.
Oh.
So they say if you it would be a situation where if you ever say where you work on the show, then you're going to lose your job by the next day.
Oh, so you didn't work it again.
So I would say that just so that I wouldn't lose my job.
So
but what was your profession?
Well, I basically did any jobs that were around.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, but
okay.
you're indicating that you were employed steadily by someone because they got mad at you. Who was that person?
I mean,
No. I just want to know
what type of... Were you a school principal? What was your real occupation?
Actually, at one time, I worked for... I don't even know if I should say this. I worked for U.S. Healthcare.
Oh.
And I was basically told, if you ever say... I was called into the office of like the president of the company, and I didn't know why. And he said, if you ever say where you work, then that's it.
I'll tell you how brilliant this guy is. You see, here's a guy.
He won't tell us what he does. He's still not having
This is what
done.
he worked for the CIA, obviously. One of the things that is
that's
the
what I'm
reason
thinking.
I got to tell you how brilliant this guy is. Here's a guy that used to, he'd get through to every major news organization and make these phony phone calls. He was the night Bob Hope died. Who was on CNN as his longtime writer?
Oh, I love that call.
Captain Jenks. That's one of his best. And it shows you he's a genius. I've said for years. Once in a while, you meet like flim-flam guys who scheme. They can never have a straight job. If
And
they
they're
did,
brilliant.
They're brilliant. Criminal mind. Now, I'm not saying that Jenks is a criminal. But he's one of these guys. He's so brilliant with these phony phone calls and things. And
the way he would set it up, sometimes he'd have multiple phone calls,
Right.
all kinds of things.
And I got to figure there's a place for this guy if he could just straighten his life out because he's a bright guy.
There is a place. It's called the Sober House.
Well, all right. Well, you know what I mean. After
I
the
really
sober
would
house.
love to know what he did, like what kind of skills he has, but he won't.
What kind of what?
No skills.
Skills.
He doesn't have any skills.
You tell his skills are phony phone calls. He's a con man. Hey, Jenks, did you go through withdrawals on your own? You just got through it on your own?
Yeah, well, when you go through rehab, what they do is they kind of wean you off over the day.
Oh, so you had medication.
Process.
Yeah, he had medication.
And I've even considered methadone clinics and stuff like that. But then you also have to figure if you do that, then you're just substituting one drug for another.
No, you get addicted to methadone.
Right. So I'm trying to do it just with nothing at all, and just go to the meetings, and the meetings help.
I'll tell you what, Jenks, to get you back on your feet, I'm going to give you $500 cash courtesy of Sex Drive on DVD. It's ruder, cruder, and neuter
Then what?
than anything.
Oh.
Own the unrated cream-filled edition of Sex Drive on DVD and Blu-ray tomorrow. As a matter of fact, I've seen Sex Drive. It's a funny movie.
Yeah?
Yeah, I watched it, and the and the unrated version is real good because just in the middle of the movie, they just have naked chicks walking around. Like you'll be in the middle of a
It
scene.
doesn't have anything to do with the scene?
Nothing. and just all of a sudden, there's a naked girl waving.
Just they cut it in.
I love that.
Oh, my goodness.
It's like if they put Spider-Man in every movie just so you could say hi to you. Anyway, okay, Captain Jenks, here's $500 for you.
I appreciate that.
All right, you're welcome. And
if I had an address for you to send it to, that'd be great.
Well, we'll figure out a way to get it to you.
Yeah, I know. I could, have it sent to my family or something.
All right, hold on.
He would appreciate a wire.
So Gary, are you surprised by Captain Jenks' revelation today that he's been on drugs?
No, I knew there was something wrong when I spoke to him like 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe like a month ago. I told Howard he's all agitated and was just acting weird, and I thought there was something wrong with him then. I didn't know it was drugs, but I had a suspicion that it might be.
Now, are there going to be any repercussions because he's using the Howard Stern show's name by getting these gigs?
Well,
is Howard going to cut him off or anything?
I don't. But we don't have him on in the sense that he doesn't even get to come on the show and plug.
True.
He hasn't plugged anything on the show in over 2 years, so he sort of does his own thing. I'm not happy about the fact because I think that people who work hard and have a business shouldn't lose money to a guy who's doing it in the name of the show, but I really have no real control over him, so he'll have to regain everybody's trust and see if he can go back to doing it again. But, we'll probably have him back on the show, have him in, and he can explain exactly what was going on, and then Howard could decide what to do from there.
Listen, we're reporting the story, but the Stern Show was initially contacted by bar owners. We then got contacted by a lot of bar owners. And the story is really in response to all these people who claim that they were hoodwinked and that Captain Jenks took the money and did not show up for these appearances. Now, as you remember, a month and a half ago, Captain Jenks was on the air on the Stern Show saying, Langford's lying. This isn't true. How dare he? Well, again, if we go in that studio with a news story, it's solid. You can bank on it.
You had your facts. Yes,
we don't go in there unless we have our facts.
Lisa G, speaking of her, here she is with some headlines, and then I have to get to about a million things.
Howard 100 News spoke to Sam Simon over the break, who was with Artie Lange in Las Vegas on a taping of Sam's new TV show for the Playboy channel called Sam's Game.
I fit a lot of Vegas into 40 hours.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
did you
I didn't fall off the wagon.
No,
but
no drinking.
I shacked up with a broad and I gambled quite a bit.
Did you
now,
drink?
Is this a paid girl?
No. This is actually a girl. Well, it's a girl who used to be paid.
She doesn't charge you anymore?
This is, I'll tell
she
you.
sees a future with you?
I might be falling in love with a hooker.
Is that true?
I really do enjoy this girl's company. But
wow. You know what? I'm going to tell you something.
She's a real person.
I'm going to tell you something.
A lot of people think whores aren't real people.
Can I tell you something? I know a couple of very famous people. I've heard about this.
Yeah.
And I've met them. Who have gorgeous wives.
Right.
Who supposedly they were call girls. And and girls that you would high priced.
I know a couple of names of celebrities that would blow your mind.
Yeah,
chicks.
You too, right?
Really?
No, girls who were call girls. I don't know if they're married.
Right.
They're celebrities in their own right now.
Right. And and what I'm telling you is, I know of guys who are famous who have hot wives.
Right.
They married their call girl, their escort.
Right.
What they do is they sort of clean up their background. They don't, they don't ever mention it.
They get the police records.
Well, I fucked that over already.
Yeah, you fucked that up. But the fact of the matter is, it's not the most unheard of thing.
I don't think it's happening. She has kids, and she lives in all the way across the country. But I do it. Listen,
but you want a family.
I care for this.
You
girl.
tell me you don't have to pay her at all. Did you give her gifts?
No,
do you ever say to her?
I don't have to do anything. No.
But do you end up giving her something anyway?
Not this time.
Right.
I was down money. But if I win money, I'll give her something. Like a dealer.
Right. A tip.
Like a blackjack
good luck
dealer.
tip.
No, I never cash anymore. That's a little gauche.
So you went to Vegas. You went out to Vegas. Sam Simon has a new TV show where he gambles, plays cards, and you sat at the table with Norm and a couple other guys.
Right. Okay. It was me. It was Norm. It was David Tell. It was Jeff Ross, and it was Playboy Playmates. I sat most of the time. I sat next to Brandy Roderick, who is
gorgeous,
the hottest chick I think I've ever seen in my life.
Now, what's she doing? Is she playing?
She's playing poker.
She can play.
So, but here's the funny thing about...
What does she wear when she plays poker?
She's wearing this, sequin-looking top and real tight black pants. And then they had all these I got 3 phone numbers of Playboy chicks who were serving us.
You mean...
Like bunnies?
And you were able to get their phone numbers?
Oh, yeah. Texted them and everything. I got a gig.
He's a big star on the show.
I got a gig at the Hard Rock Cafe in Vegas, June 27th, and 3 of them are coming. It's a slam dunk.
Do you think really? Do you think they're interested in sex?
What do you mean?
I know. Well, a couple of them, it's a slam dunk.
Are these girls who appeared in Playboy magazine in the pages?
They're bunnies. They served us food. I don't know.
So they're
bunnies.
Yeah,
a couple of them did.
But they were in the magazine.
Yeah.
That's high-level printing, yes.
I mean, you're talking, this one might be the hottest chick I've ever seen in my life, this girl from Michigan.
And you got her number, and maybe there's
yeah. She's very sweet.
All right, so you go to the TV show taping. You play cards for what, charity?
And Ralph was there too.
Ralph is there.
Okay, so Ralph.
I don't know. At the table?
Look, I don't know I don't know the details. Okay.
How does Ralph end up?
I was told that Sam flew Ralph out first class.
Wow.
Gave him, and now we stayed at the Palms, which is a beautiful hotel. The Palms has a brand new tower that is all just luxury. It's not,
not a casino.
You know, at the Hard Rock sometimes you could hear the casino going on all night. Yeah. This is for people who don't want to hear all that shit. So they put Norm and Attell and myself and Ralph up in these huge suites. I had a view of the whole city. It was gorgeous.
Right. And Ralph had a nice suite as well.
Ralph told me he had the same suite I had.
Wow.
And he got flown out there first class, and he was there all week. And he was playing in the game like it was celebrity. It was all comedians.
And Ralph.
Playboy, centerfolds, and Ralph was there. I mean,
Now, does Ralph sit at the table, and is he part of the taping of the TV show? So he is a celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. And he's the billed as Ralph from the Howard Stern show?
He's billed as Ralph Sorrell. That's what I saw on my thing.
All right, okay.
So here's the funny thing about Sam. Now, we're playing on the Playboy channel.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a TV show. And all of us, like I said, exactly what you just said. It's for charity, right? Or whatever, or just for fun and stuff. Dave Attell thought that too.
Sure.
So at the end of one round of play, I wasn't here for this round. Attell lost $1,000 or whatever.
Okay.
So at the end, some guy comes up to Attell and says, "So you owe Sam $1,000."
What?
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
You're doing Sam a favor.
You're doing his TV show.
Right, but if you lose money to him, he could lose money to you, and you could lose money to him. But Sam is billed as a professional poker player, as is Norm Macdonald.
Right.
So there would be an advantage there. And there's also professional, but Jennifer Tilly played too.
And she's a pro.
And her husband, Phil, this guy who's a pro.
You mean to tell me Dave loses $1,000 and they say you owe Sam $1,000?
It gets so much better.
Okay.
So the next day, now I'm playing with Attell, okay?
Yeah.
And Attell goes, "Did you know this isn't for charity? Like I owe Sam $1,000." and I went, you know what? Knowing Sam, that doesn't surprise me, but I would have had to been told that it's for charity.
Yeah.
Because they give you $500 to start.
Okay.
That's your money.
Right.
And you also get paid $1,600 for being on the show.
Oh, okay. So Attell is working for nothing.
But Sam knows. the kind of people he's with. So, but like we told Norm and you, if you want more than $500, Sam will loan it to you.
Loan it to you.
Right. And then, of course, if you lose.
What's the interest rate on that?
There's no interest rate, but if you lose more than what you borrowed, you owe him that money.
Well, if he is a supposed expert player.
He's a professional.
If he's a professional poker player, why would I want to go on his TV show, help him out,
lose money to him,
and lose
you're
money
a degenerate gambler?
Yeah, I guess so.
So this is what happened. So I said, "How much you giving me?" $500. I said, "Well, I need way more than that."
Sure.
I said, "Give me $5,000." So the guy immediately, like a loan shark, goes, "Absolutely." Sign Artie up for $5,000. He gives me $5,000 in chips. Now, the start of the TV show that has me and Attell and Norm at it, Sam opens the show by completely humiliating Attell and going, "Listen, on camera, Dave didn't know that he really owes me money, so Dave has to give me $1,000 and then we'll start." So now Attell on the TV show is taking out his wallet.
Dave doesn't have $1,000.
Well, Attell's got the money, but he says, "Thanks, Sam. Well, I didn't know we were going to do this on the air." So he takes the money out of his wallet. He gives the guy, Sam's producer / bitch, I don't know, gives the guy the money, and then Attell buys in for another $1,000. Me and Norm each buy in for $5,000.
Oh, my God.
So now here's the rub here that I get pissed off with. It's also a TV show.
Sure.
Okay, so now Sam, Norm, myself, and Attell are all at the table. Sam wants the show to be funny, okay?
Right.
So there's also 2 Playboy playmates there. So now who do you think the funny falls on there?
You.
Right, of course.
And
Me and Norm, right. But Sam and Norm are such like crazy card players. They're concentrating on the game.
They're not being funny.
Okay, so now me and Attell are looking at each other. Every time I started making jokes, and like I would throw in like when I didn't really have a good hand to be funny and stuff, and I was doing shit that I thought would be entertaining.
Right.
But at the end, you lose money, and it's like, okay, you're being funny. Sam wasn't being funny.
Right. He was making money.
Right. He was making money, I guess. And then me and Norm started doing some stuff. We were trying to be funny.
Let me get to the bottom line for
So
a
there's
second.
two different things going on here. There's a poker game for real money, or are we trying to entertain people? Because I can't concentrate on both things at the same time.
Absolutely not.
So,
well, why are you feeling all this pressure?
I started getting a little pissed off, and I started playing for real.
Okay.
I started really getting into it. So now at one point, I was up 11 grand.
But you know what this is like? This is like being asked to do a guest starring role on, let's say, ER.
Right.
And then being charged a hospital bill. I mean, I never heard of a show like this. But although I have to hand it to Sam, it is a reality show. You're really playing for real.
It's like doing Letterman, and at the end of Letterman goes, listen, I'm a pro pool shooter. You want to shoot pool for me?
Right. Yeah, I mean, all right, so anyway, you start to play for real. So now I'm in the game now. But me and Attell, we're casual poker players. Me and Attell are now in a game with a Playboy Playmate who's hot as hell, which is very distracting. Now,
and three professional poker players.
Is the Playmate putting up her own money? Brandy Roderick has that kind of buy-in?
No, she just took the $500 from the game, and she would. You get $500.
Is Sam really going to take her money too?
I don't know if he did, but she didn't have any chips in front of her at the end of the night. But listen, if you only bet the $500, you don't lose anything.
Right.
I lost. We lost because I put an extra $5 grand in. Because I wanted to, play like a real thing. So now I'm up $11,000.
Wow!
At the end of the first round. So if we stop there, that would have been it. But they take a dinner break and we do a second round.
Okay.
Now they send me out into the fucking casino with, I'm like, fuck it. I started really gambling. I'm playing craps, and then so I go up to my room and I call this broad. And the producer of the show says, look, you got to come back down and do the second round because, like it's a TV show.
Right.
So I'm like, all right. So I go back down and I win the first couple of hands. And then me and Norm get involved with this hand. Now, Norm is a really good poker player. All right. And I've played poker with him for years, but I kind of know. Like, I'm not going to say he has a tell, but I kind of know when he's got a hand, I think. Because Norm is great at making an I don't give a shit face about everything.
Right.
So, it comes down between me and Norm and whatever you got. I mean, so many people know about poker now, but I had a pair of kings with like a queen high.
Okay.
That's all I had after the flop with everything in beginning. So me and Norm start gambling, and I can tell by the last card, the river card, that he doesn't have anything.
Right.
But so I bet a lot of money. He bets a lot of money, and then I go all in to end this one round with Norm. On the river, the last card, Norm gets a flush, an ace-side flush.
Wow.
Okay, so and it looks like he played it perfectly, and I'm like, so I'm making jokes about it. Again, there's cameras all over you, like be funny or do something. So I lost probably all 11,000 on that hand.
Oh.
Wow.
I buy in for another 5. Okay. So we finish out the last couple hours, and I ended up down money. I ended up down like $8,000. I think Attell won money. Norm must have been up, and Sam was up money, I'm sure. But the second round, Jennifer Tilly stayed. Me and Jennifer Tilly did a movie together. So the whole time we're telling stories about.
Well, can you leave the game? Let's say you're winning, and you say like a real poker game. I want to leave.
Not until
I want to take my money and go.
Well, what if you're losing and look, Brandy Roderick?
Then
has
you
to keep
can go
buying
out.
in?
They have people that just the first Playmate dropped out in 10 seconds.
Right.
She lost her money.
Okay.
And then Brandy sat down, so she was sitting right next to me. I keep ordering food from the waitresses. Like, there's a lot of distractions going on. So at the end of the game, Sam closes everything. Sam has a catchphrase, too, by the way.
What's his catchphrase?
I go, what's your catchphrase? He goes, watch, you'll love it. So Sam looks, that arrogant Sam, he looks at the camera and goes, okay, we had a big excitement here, a couple of big hands. I think Artie's down some money. This is Sam Simon. Remember, it's just a game.
Remember, it's just a game.
Because he's
It's all
got
a game.
all the money.
Right. So now here's the funny part. The producer comes up to me, the guy who's going to tell me how much I owe Sam now.
Right.
At the end of the night, and I'm aggravated. Sam's trying to close the show, and I just go in back of him every time and fuck it up, going, I lost money to the guy who created the fucking Simpsons. I said, yeah, you got to kill me to get that money. I'm not fucking sending you this money, but I pay my debts, whatever.
Right.
So I'm figuring out. I'm trying to count to figure out how much I'm down. But this guy who produces the show, he knows. He's keeping track. He knows everything. He comes up to me and real casually off camera says, listen, we did the math. Okay, listen. You owe Sam $8,010. But I'll tell you what. Let's call it $8,000.
Oh, isn't that nice?
He's going to throw in the 10.
He lets you go to 10?
$8,010.
Wow.
And then he goes, but I'll tell you what. Let's call it $8,000.
You know what? That's a mensch.
So now I leave the table. I owe Sam $8,000.
Right.
I go up to him, and Sam comes to me and goes, thank you so much for doing this. Because, look, we had a vacation. Vegas is fun.
Right.
But I had stand-up the weekend before and the weekend after vacation. I might have done something else.
Right.
You know?
Right.
And besides lose $8,000 to Sam.
There's a broad I'm kind of seeing. I might have went to, like, I don't know. I was thinking about
Take
going
her
to
on vacation.
Oh, yeah, something like that. So I'm not seeing this bro. We're committed.
So what did you do? Did you write him a check for $8,000?
So I go up to Sam and I say, listen, it was great being here. He goes, thank you so much. It was a big favor. I know you're on vacation, blah, blah, blah. And I say, yeah, Sam, no, don't worry about it. You're welcome. I'm glad to do this for you. So where do I send the $8,000 I owe you?
So have you
and
paid
I thought
him yet?
maybe Sam was going to go, come on, it's a TV show. You help me out here. You're on the show. Sam goes, I don't mail me a check.
Mail me a check.
Yeah.
That's it.
But wait a minute. So
What a story.
I want to know if Ralph loses money if he's got to pay Sam. If that fucker ain't paying Sam, I ain't paying Sam.
yeah, because
How's
you
that fucking sound?
you don't get the $1,600.
No, I do. They send me that's union
but then
shit.
then you have to send it right back.
Well, no, I get a check like if I appeared on a TV show, that gets sent to my accountant, the $1,600. But I got to send of my own personal money, 8 G's to Sam.
That's what I'm saying. You worked for nothing.
Dominic, you're
Worked
on
for
there. What's
nothing.
up?
It cost me 6 G's.
Dominic
I
Barber.
don't get something, Artie. How can a private individual lend money to people in Las Vegas to gamble? That's against the law. You can't.
No. Sam, you don't understand. It's like the guy said, how much do you want from like Sam's game? The show. The casino was loaning me the money. But when we sit down at the table, it's legal to gamble. In Las Vegas, we were gambling. We were playing poker.
Who are you mailing the $8,000 to?
The game. The show.
Not to the casino.
No.
I don't know. I'm mailing it to the show or the casino. I don't know. One of the two. I'm not mailing it to Sam personally, but I lost money to the show. I lost money to something. I guess I lost money to the casino.
But you realize that that's, of course, not legal to have a show where they lend you money and you pay them back.
He's saying that they do it through the casino.
No, Sam. Dominic. They said to me, the casino can front you money if you want.
Right.
And I got fronted money. That's what I did.
It sounds like it couldn't possibly be legal to even have a show that lends you money that you then pay.
Hey, is the $8,000?
I got $5,000.
I'm sure whatever they're doing, they've looked into.
I got $5,000 in chips from the show. They made up chips. There were Palms chips. We were playing at the Palms. I don't know what kind of deal. I don't know what kind of deal they have. All I know is I taped a TV show and I lost $8,000. But
no individual can open up in a casino their own gambling casino. Or bet.
Dominic, it's obvious they're playing at a casino.
Right.
Yeah, we're saying we're in the Hef Suite at the casino. Yeah.
And that you're getting it's the same when you get a marker from a casino. And now Artie owes $8,000. Probably Sam was paid already from the game, and now he owes money to the casino.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sam can explain it. The bottom line is, I taped a TV show, and I owe people money.
Yeah, I don't want to get caught up in that, but it sounds like the $8,000 at least is a tax write-off. Maybe, possibly because you were taping a TV show.
I don't know.
I don't know that that's the case.
I don't know. I'm asking.
I doubt it.
So Howard Stern could open up in a casino the Howard Stern game, have people play, make a profit or a loss, and film it.
No.
You couldn't.
No, Dominic.
That's not what happened.
This is the way
Dominic.
I understand. You go to a casino and say, we want to tape a TV show.
Right.
Which is a poker game.
Right.
The casino, as you know, has poker dealers.
Right.
And you go there and you buy in.
Right.
Now, how you buy in is up to you. You can say to the casino, I want to have a marker. which is essentially what it sounds like Artie has done here. He has said, look, I don't have the money with me right now. I want to take out a loan. I want to take out money. At the end of the game, whoever wins the chips goes in and cashes out. Now, Artie owes money to the casino. That's how it works in it. You can go anywhere in a casino in Vegas and play poker.
Listen, here's the thing. Sam might have been doing this for charity, but we weren't told that. Sam is a very charitable guy.
Right.
And I'm sure that's what he was doing. But my point is, it wasn't, to me and Dave Attell, it was obviously, it wasn't made clear what was happening, that we're playing with real money.
But once it was made clear, you bought in anyway.
Of course. I mean,
right.
But listen.
Well, he's there with a camera in front of him. He can't look like
I'm in Las Vegas. There's hot chicks around. I'm shaking. Yeah, give me money to gamble with.
And you're telling me...
I'm sure knowing Sam as wonderful as he is and charitable is, that he didn't do anything intentionally, but I don't believe that a casino can have another organization front like that.
Right. You're not listening to what Howard was saying.
You're not following. But it's okay. Listen, I got to go.
I'm telling a story. I doubt, and obviously it's a funny story. I lost money. I doubt Sam did anything wrong.
No, I know he did.
But maybe it all went to charity in the end anyway, but it is hilarious.
He wasn't in on the deal. He doesn't know how it's structured.
But so afterwards...
That wasn't the point of the story, to find out whether it's legal or not. Yeah. We're assuming the legalities have been checked into. Thank you, Dominic.
Believe me, there was nothing but law enforcement officials.
Let me understand something. So you're telling me you didn't drink, you didn't do any drugs?
Not even close.
Wow.
You just lost money.
And so anyway, so at the end, I was going to fly home. We finished playing the last game at about 3 a.m., and I was going to fly. And then afterwards, me and Jeff Ross and a couple other people, and Ralph, Jeff Ross and Ralph went up to the Playboy Suite to watch them shoot the beginning of the show.
Right.
The beginning of the show is this insane Playboy Suite in the Palms. It has a pool. I'm going to explain this. Like, they have 4 suites where the pool juts out like into the sky. Like, if you look, it's an enormous balcony if you look up, so it looks like a peninsula or something.
Right.
And the balcony is a pool. So it looks like, and the pool is all glass, so it looks like you're swimming in the sky, in other words. Like, you're almost flying through the water, and it was loaded with Playboy Playmates.
How does Playboy afford all of this? I mean, they're on hard times, Playboy.
Well, again, I think that that's a licensing the name kind of thing, the Palms.
They have the Hef Suite.
Right.
And there's 4 suites like this, and the pool in the Hef Suite has the Playboy bunny and everything. But the more important thing was, so at 3 o'clock in the morning, we go up there, and Sam has worked it out where him and Ralph is in the beginning of the show. Mm-hmm. There's a bit they do in the beginning. It's Sam and Ralph. Like, they're connected now publicly.
How did Ralph get to be his sidekick?
I don't know. But
right,
so,
at least Ralph's got a job. Yeah,
that's probably how Sam got him money to get flown out there. Like, look, you'll be in the show.
It's a write-off.
Okay. So Sam and Ralph are surrounded by 12 Playmates. So they're shooting with the Playmates. Now, me, Jeff, and Ralph are watching these Playmates. They got thongs on and bikinis, frolic in the pool.
Wow.
And they're throwing us the beach ball and stuff. We're going, like, what's going on? Like, can we fuck these girls afterwards?
Do they have any kind of commentators?
Well, Sam and Ralph are the commentators. They're waiting for Sam to come up there and shoot it. They're getting, like, B-roll of the girls playing. And
Right.
And me and Jeff and Ralph are like standing on the side of the pool talking with these girls, like, and the camera guys and shit have work to do. We used to look like hungry wolves, like,
just drooling.
Sure. So I get so horny now. It's 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30, and I have to have a flight at 6:55 a.m. Right?
How do you stay up that long? I don't even know how to do that.
I had slept till about noon that day. It's Vegas. You know? I don't know. I mean,
right.
I don't get bored in Vegas.
Right.
I don't get Gary in trouble. So so now I'm kind of horny from these broads, and one of them was kind of, I was talking to her, and they're like, well, we have to stay here and shoot this all day. So I call this chick that I know, and
the hooker.
There used to be hooker.
Let me ask you something. And you really think she used to be a hooker? She's still a hooker. But
in my life, Howard, let's calm down. She's not a hooker.
No, you get her for free. I understand that.
I don't know what she does.
You don't ask.
Right now, she could be fucking a guy for money. I don't know.
Right.
I don't want to think about it.
Okay.
Right now the girl
because you have feelings.
Right now the girl I'm dating could be shitting. I don't want to think about that.
Right.
So I call her up, and I'm like, it's either jerk off or call this girl. And when you're in Vegas, there's always options. And she was around, and she came over. So
when she comes over, she must fuck great because she gets paid professionally to do it.
She's such a doll. She looks like who is a couple of people here have met her. Dan, the Song Party man.
What did he say?
She's smoking.
Smoking hot.
She looks like I showed you a picture of her.
You did?
She looks like a young Nicole Eggert.
Oh, my God.
Like a young one.
And you wouldn't deal her to anybody else. Like, this isn't the girl you got for JD or anything like that.
What am I, a jerk?
What do you think, he's an animal?
No, the girl who blew JD and fucked JD was a different girl.
So
somebody else set that up. That was the best. JD's at Nobu. Clearly a whore comes over.
So she shows up to your room.
She comes up and like I know everything about her. I ask about her kids. I know her.
How long does it take after the small talk before she starts fucking you?
This was quick because I told her I said I was horny. So I ordered some food and yeah, Tracy Morgan showed up and blew.
Do you know what happened to Tracy Morgan over vacation?
No, what'd he do?
He's the funniest guy on the planet. Tracy, do you know about this, Robin?
No.
His fish tank in his apartment caught fire. I mean,
how does your fish tank
I don't know,
catch fire?
He's the greatest.
It's full of water.
His fish tank caught fire. And then I think he burned. I don't know what happened. He burned down half the building.
What do the fish do? They're like, wait, we're in water.
Survived. I don't know.
Our water is boiling.
I think we're dinner.
So
how's your fish tank catch fire? Yeah, go ahead.
She
shows up.
I call up my friend is the producer. This girl that I've known for years produces Sam's show, and I said, listen. I'm shacked up with this broad here. Like she's known me forever, so she understands what could happen in Vegas. I said, just make it like the Red Eye tonight. So I changed the flight to the Red Eye, and it was like the Keith Richards style. I shut all the windows in the suite, like put tinfoil up. I wanted no light in there, and me and the chick were in there for just like 10 hours together, getting room service
for 10 hours. How many times do you bang this chick?
I don't know. We fell asleep a couple of times, probably like 4 times.
Wow, and for free.
Yeah,
money.
She ordered champagne, which I didn't touch.
Right.
And
really, you didn't. You were partying with her. You're banging her.
No
She's
party.
And when
champagne.
you kiss her, you can taste the champagne, and you don't break.
You could have had one little champagne.
I don't kiss her. I didn't do a goddamn thing. No booze.
Would you say
nothing.
this has turned into like a Pretty Woman kind of scenario where like you're falling in love with a hooker and
I'm Richard Gere?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
No, it's not going to happen. I could never.
Something. You whispered under your breath a few moments ago, I'm committed.
No, I said I'm not committed.
You're not committed.
You wear rubber when you're with this chick?
Absolutely.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Seriously?
Even for a blowy?
No. It started out that way, but no.
Now they're in love.
I always wear a rubber, though.
But no kissing? Really? It's like that, huh?
No.
No kissing?
No.
I mean, now there's kissing.
Yeah, we can. But just like, I know her. She's a good girl. She's all right.
Wow.
Everybody's got bills.
You got a picture of this chick right now?
No, I have one. I'll get you one.
Give me a couple.
I showed you a picture of her.
I'm confused.
You thought she was hot.
You showed me the picture of her before you became emotionally involved with her. That's why I didn't pay. Now that she's your girlfriend, I want to.
She's not my girlfriend. She's not my girlfriend.
No. She going to come to Jersey and hang out with you?
No. That's
not for her.
That's been discussed, but no.
No. Why not?
Maybe at the Shore House. As Robin knows, I'll have any type of broad at the Shore House.
Your mom doesn't go to the Shore House.
Oh, yes, my mother has her own.
His mother decorated
my
the
mother,
Shore House.
are you kidding me? My mother has her own wing. She has a suite.
So if a whore shows up.
No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen unless my mother's away. Unless my mother goes on the
Sounds to me like you're falling in love with this girl, but you're worried about what society's going to think.
No, would I worry about society? Look at me.
In a weird way, yeah.
No.
There are areas where you worry.
There's a lot of complications with her.
The kids.
That's one. Also, where she's from and geography and everything else.
She could move. What's to stop her
Move
from
right
moving?
into that Shore House.
Calm down, Robin. If my mother goes on the summer-long cruise I'm trying to get her to go on.
The way I'm thinking about it is you got a whore for free, and you had to pay Sam Simon $8,000. So you're kind of
sort
equal.
of made out of you.
Yeah, you did okay.
Now, in regular gambling.
Go ahead.
In regular gambling, I won $12,000.
All right, so you really won $4,000 is what you're saying.
With the 1,600, so if you count the 1,600, the game, the 2, and the 500, if you want to get really
technical
cool with the math.
And the 10, even count the $10.
A little over 6 G's.
6 G's you won.
Up.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Thank goodness for your regular gambling.
Yeah, and again, Sam, of course, will get on here and give his story, but Dave Attell knows that in the beginning he didn't know, and I didn't know for sure.
Yeah,
but
that's kind of a screwy thing.
I think from my calculations, Attell ended up some money, and I bet Norm and Sam are up a shitload of money.
They just want to take money from their friends.
Did you get worked by Sam Simon?
Did I get what?
Worked by Sam Simon.
My lawyer said I can't discuss this right now.
Why not?
No, I don't know. I think Sam. I think what we're looking at here is Sam stole money from me to give to charity. It's like Peter Pan or Robin.
This is the best of the wrap-up show. A recap and behind-the-scenes look with John Hine and Gary Dell'Abate. The best of the wrap-up show begins now.
Artie Lange here. On Monday's wrap-up show, we discussed Dr. Drew Pinsky and his assessment of me, which I think is total bullshit. I don't want to be dead like my father. I'd like to be thin like my father, probably. I don't want to be dead like my father. But I do drugs to forget my father's dead. It's very complicated. Join us when the exploiter of the century, Dr. Drew, comes in and hopes that he gets me to die on his show instead of this show. I'm dying on our show. Not Dr. Drew's show. Fuck you. And fuck you!
Now, Artie, before you came in, I was explaining, I took your side in the sense that how could you say that this guy, Dr. Drew,
BlackBerry's blowing up.
Isn't exploitive when everything he does is on television?
Right, of course. The guy's look, I know he's a nice guy, but look, I said to him point blank, would you let one of your daughters do this? And of course, the thought of that's horrifying to him. And he went, good question, no. It's just, look, he's taking advantage of the biggest fuck-ups that are out in L.A. right now. You know, I mean, that's
okay.
it.
Okay, so let's say we buy into that point, which you're not off on that all the way.
I don't know how I'm off at all.
Do you still think that he's not giving them proper treatment?
No, they're not getting. He admitted it. He admitted it by not being able to throw out the real entertaining people like Gary Busey, and he said Tawny. I don't know what she was doing. By not being able to throw them. Okay, by not being able to throw them out. And why do you throw them out? Not because you don't care about them anymore. Because they could affect the treatment of the other people. That's why you throw them out. So by not being able to throw them out, to have them still there, still being a disruptive force with the other people, no one's getting proper treatment.
Okay,
nobody.
Say we buy into that, right? So because I'm saying I buy into that.
Buy into it. It's a fact.
Listen. Okay, you're right. Does that mean that he has no ability to judge or diagnose anybody else?
No, that doesn't mean that. I'm just saying he doesn't care about it as much. That's all. I'm saying that, look, he's admitting that. Okay, I don't think he's a bad guy, but here's a true doctor with integrity. Here's a guy, and look, none of us are Jesus Christ, and I'm not judging anybody, and I know I'm about to put him up on a pedestal that no human being should be put up to, and I don't think anybody should be perfect, except Benji, who's clearly a perfectionist. This, to me, is a doctor I would want to see. A guy who goes, look, you're unbelievable at what you do. You happen to practice in Los Angeles. We would love for you to do a TV show and with these people. And here the guy goes, no, I can't do that. I can't ever bring myself to do that because this is sacred to me. I'm a doctor. I took an oath. I can't put these people on TV if I'm not allowed full autonomy, and I can't do whatever I have to do within treatment to make them better. That's a doctor I want to see. Dr. Drew was asked that question, even if he asked himself in his own head, and he said, I'm willing to fucking do it on television. That's all I'm saying. Doesn't make him a bad guy. I don't judge him in a bad way because we're all human beings, man. I mean, we all go for the money.
But in a way, you are judging him because you're saying that he's not good enough to diagnose or treat you. But in your mind, for what you want.
I don't think he's and I think he's not. He shouldn't be able to treat a lot of people due to that, just one factor. I mean, look, the other thing is, how many people is he not if he thinks he's such a great doctor, how many people is he not treating because he's in a meeting with the network or, because he's developing another show?
That's unfair to say because you would have to sit there and figure out what every doctor does with their time when they're not with a patient.
What about a golfer? Doctors do two things with their time.
What if they were golfing? What if he were golfing instead of being in with the network?
Go to the hacky thing, golf. golfing.
I'm just saying.
Whatever. I'm saying, look, Drew probably golfs too, but the average doctor doesn't golf, take care of his kids, meet the network, develop a show, and then see a couple of people. The average doctor golfs, takes care of his kids, and then sees as many people as he can help, and not on television. And that's all I'm saying. Look, I'm a fuck up, and I'm not judging. I am judging him, but I'm not saying that, look, I hate him or he should be in hell for this. I'm not doing what Jesus would do. And I'm not saying I'm not a fuck up. I'm just giving you my opinion that he had to ask himself that question: should I do this on television? And can I give the proper treatment on television? The answer is no, clearly in his head. And anyway, he said yes anyway. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not a fuck up, and I agree with Artie. I think doing it on TV hurts your credibility. I do.
See,
and again, I think he's good at what he does. I think he made a lot of sense, and I think Artie absolutely needs help. But I think he makes a very good point.
All right, let's get off this topic because we're getting stuck here.
Because you're losing.
No. What did you think of his assessment of you? That initial assessment.
Actually, wait. Before you answer that, Artie, I'm sorry. Okay. Teddy, hit clip number 1.
John's not a fuck up.
People, when they're sober, end up better than they thought they could be.
Right.
But it's almost like you want to join your dad, you know what I mean? And if you can't live without him, you're not going to live. You know what I mean? And that's, you deserve a better life. You deserve a sober life. Right. And he would want that for you. And it seems like you idealize him so much that he can't be the real guy he was with you. And you won't let go of the idealized image. And that's either pulling you towards death or keeping you on heroin.
All right. Let's not forget to mention the fact that he developed this theory by reading Artie Lange's Too Fat to Fish, still on shelves,
which is a very honest book and a pretty good insight into who you are.
It's a fantastic book. I'm not going to argue. But it's the best book out now. I get it.
It's pretty good insight into who you are. It's not every moment.
He called the book riveting.
Good. Okay. So get to the answer, the point.
He bought his own copy too.
Listen. No, he didn't. I don't want to be dead, okay? That's extreme. I don't want to join my father in death. What he did say after that, which I think is probably true, is it might be the reason I'm still doing heroin and other drugs. I don't want to be dead. If there was an afterlife that you believed in and my father saw me there before I was 90, I think he wouldn't want me there either. I wouldn't want to be there. I don't want to be dead. I'm telling you right now, I don't. But it might be the thing that keeps me going back to drugs.
Do you think that you have put your father on this pedestal and idealized him to a place that may not be real anymore?
Well, look, if you read the book, I say in the book when I describe some of the things he did that he did put my mother through hell at times. He was crazy.
But it's about you and him, though. Just about you and him.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, a shrink might beg to differ, but I don't think I put him up on that pedestal where he can do no wrong. But
it's funny because in a way you almost said that today when you talked about how when your dad was a quadriplegic, how in your mind you thought that a thief coming into the house that your dad could still somehow defend.
See, but that was then. I don't believe that now. It's a long time ago, Gary. Okay. And I don't believe that now. If my father was a quadriplegic in the house and a burglar broke in now, we'd be fucked. I'd leave and let him, do whatever. Steal my father. But so at that point I did. At that point I can remember going to bed at night and just saying, God, if someone broke in, we'd be fine. I don't think that anymore. I was 20 when that happened. Look, clearly something's fucking me up. Clearly my father has something to do with it. But I don't want to be dead. I promise you.
But do you think that Dr. Drew is right in saying that the father connection you believe has to do with why you keep going back? You said something today that shocked me.
Yeah, that could have something to do with me doing drugs. Of course, I'm sure it does.
You said something today that shocked me, which I did not realize. You said that you have not been more than 11 months sober in how long?
Since I was 17,
probably? I had no idea.
Yeah,
See, wait,
I thought you had more.
Wait.
Since you were 17, how long have you been sober for?
But Art, that's kind of interesting what you just said. And I've noticed that before. When was your dad's accident?
October 1985. A week after my 18th birthday. So I started drinking before he fell.
But let's define started drinking. We're having a beer here and there. When did you have a problem with drinking? Or have you ever had a problem with drinking?
Well, I mean, Well, sure I have, of course.
In other words, do you think you were heading down the road you were heading down before your father's accident, or not necessarily?
No. I don't blame him for me leaving. Look, I got into college under false pretenses, and I would have left. School was not for me. Although my road that I took after that might have been much different. He might have been like, look, then you're going to just work with me and maybe try to learn this business. Or I don't know if he would have tolerated me going into New York every day without work. And he wouldn't have minded me chasing the dream to be a comedian. But I think, because he was a big fan of comedy, but I don't know if he would have let me fuck up as much as I did in those years. It's interesting. And I don't know if I would have had as much drive to make it, It's weird. My life would have been very different. I don't know.
You say you want to live. You don't want to die. You don't want to die. You said that a couple times. But in your book, I know you tried suicide once. Have you been feeling that way for a long time recently? Like, it seemed like when you went down to Florida, I wouldn't say you had an epiphany, but you definitely came up saying, you know what, I got a lot to live for. I'm in a good place. I'm feeling a lot better.
Yeah, I didn't say I was in a good place till I got to Miami.
A better place.
That was a great place, Miami.
It sounded like it.
The hotel. Nobu. Some of the chicks down there. The wellness center was a horrible place. Rehab's a horrible place.
Must be the worst 9 days of your life.
But, Gary, you know what? I saw your house in Connecticut. You wouldn't last 10 seconds in this fucking place.
I think, dude, I'll show you where
guys are making
I'll
it
show you
sound,
where I grew up.
You guys are making it. I know where you grew up in shit. Long Island. It's all shit there. But what did I grow up in? Beverly Hills?
No, but I think that you leaving because of the conditions is an excuse, not a reason. I know that you're used to a better way now.
I'm going to see if your wife would tolerate this rug in your house for 10 seconds.
My wife doesn't have to go.
Do you have good water pressure in your house?
Did they say to you when you left, like, we don't think this is... Hey, Art, when you left, did they say, we don't think this is a good idea? Or they're like, that's fine, just
Who
come in?
told them?
Hi, this is Scott the Engineer, and on Tuesday's wrap-up show, we talked about how I recorded John's demo tape for the Tonight Show, and then told him I wasn't going to give it to Howard, and then turned around and gave it to Howard. What a bitch I am. Right, John?
The show started really with Howard doing a rap on Stuttering John and told his side of what he thinks is really going on with him and if he'll go over to the new show, etc. But when he played the tape of Scott recording John auditioning for the announcer job at the Tonight Show, you heard Scott in the background and Fred doing Scott's laugh, but Gary was telling me during the break, John lived to fuck with Scott.
He did. First of all, you have to understand something. Scott didn't even have that John thing in the profit system. He was holding it off to the side, and the reasoning is still not clear to me. Scott claims he was looking for the unbleeped version, but I think Scott was trying to keep it out of there because I think he felt a little bit bad about fucking with John, but then he didn't care anymore. You have to understand the level that John would go to mess with Scott. So I talked about earlier on the show today. So you know the phones, when you pick up your telephone, how there's a button there and that's how you can hear what's going on? Stuttering John used to go and tape it down on Scott's phone. Then he would call him, and Scott would pick up the phone. It would ring, but it would never pick up. And he would go, "Hello, hello." And I remember one day Scott ripped the phone out of the plug and hurled it at the door. Then John pulled a prank on Scott that I believe a caveman pulled on another caveman, back in the Ice Age. But it was so great. John took a $5 bill and attached a piece of fishing wire to it. So Scott comes bopping down the hall. We're all waiting. John goes, "Don't worry, he'll be out here any minute." We're looking through this little window. Scott goes to pick it up, and John just pulls it away from him. He fucked with him at every available turn.
That was before cameras were around?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff isn't even on tape. A lot of stuff is just for John's fun.
So with Scott, this was the ultimate revenge, no?
Well, the thing that's funny is John did some of those tricks, and some of them are on tape and some of them aren't, but Scott's got this forever. And, it's wrong of John to be mad at Scott in the sense that if he really never wanted it to be heard by the show, he should have gone elsewhere to get it done. It's a lot to ask of Scott to keep this contained for, 6 years.
And John, as you said, messed with Scott all the time.
But in all fairness to Scott didn't give it to me like the day after John got the job. John got the job, and Scott sat on it, and then at some point he realized, I can't sit on this anymore. That's a lot of pressure for him. Because if I ever found out he had it and he didn't give it to us, I'd fucking ream him.
Well, first, Howard said he was pissed that Scott didn't tell him right away. But as it turns out, he did the right thing.
Artie jumped in and said, listen, you got to give Scott a standing ovation. And he's right.
Yeah.
And like I said, Scott took, just hours of shit. For whatever reason, especially at the beginning, Scott was John's personal punching bag for his practical jokes.
Did Scott ever blow up at John?
I told you he threw the phone at the wall. He knew it was John. Yeah, he blew up all the time. But see, that's the thing, too. Like, I hate the whole practical joke thing because if Scott were to blow up at me, I'd feel so horrible. It didn't slow John down even a little.
Now, Benji, do you think John shouldn't be mad at Scott?
Well, first of all, do we know for sure that John really is mad at Scott still? Or is this just hype?
Well, he hasn't spoken to Scott in however many years, and he was very mad at Scott.
But was he ever real close with Scott that he'd call him up and say, "Hey, let's talk about life"?
No, but John's mad at him. Trust me, I know John.
Okay,
he's mad at him.
I mean, I talk to John occasionally. I have a friendly relationship with him, and he's never brought that up to me. But I could.
I don't think he'll bring it up.
It is tough because I can understand John's point of view because we've all asked each other, "Hey, can I tell you something privately?" And I don't know.
Benji, if you were sending writing samples for another show, would you ask me to proofread them, and then and not tell anyone, or would you go to somebody else?
I would probably ask Hein to proofread.
You know what I'm talking about. And the other thing too is.
I see what you're saying. It is a dilemma.
But here's the other thing. What does John give a shit? He got the job. It would be a worse translation.
Well, I don't know. I want to hear from John if he really is that pissed about it.
All right, we'll call John tomorrow. I was going to say, don't take our call.
I was going to say, if Gary can ever.
But if John is, I think I can. It depends on what level.
I get what you're saying, except for the fact that if he really didn't want anybody here to know,
I guess I don't understand. Why would John be pissed at that point that he got the job?
Right, he got the job. What's there to be mad at? If anything, he's got the last laugh on Scott.
I guess he feels betrayed by Scott in some way. I don't know. Scott, if you're listening, come down. Maybe you can explain this.
We should get Sal down here and some of the other people, too, to talk about, I didn't realize this till after John left, but John had his own little fiefdom going that I was unaware of.
Oh, yeah.
And he would, put people on probation and punish them, and he would not talk to people for weeks on end. And there was really like a reign of terror when John was in that office.
Sal's spoken about that before, how he was on 2 weeks probation for doing something wrong.
But Jason and Will, he would give them shit. Like if they rubbed him the wrong way, he would get really mad at them and just ignore them for weeks on end.
He did get mad at me once.
For what?
Has anyone ever seen Scott run? Oh, sorry.
What did he get mad at you for, Benji?
I wanted to start doing stand-up, which I actually all my life I've always sort of dabbled in it.
What, John got mad at you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he had started doing stand-up. And I had worked something out with the New York Comedy Club to do some stuff there.
Right.
And he felt that I was getting in on him doing stand-up.
But why couldn't you both do stand-up?
Yeah. He felt I was, getting in on his thing.
Right, because once he's doing it, it's his thing.
Yeah.
So did that put an end to your stand-up?
Oh, no, just because my laziness did at the time. But he got real mad for a while.
Scott's here. Scott, John used to mess with you a lot, right?
Oh, constantly. He never stopped messing with me. That was his life.
And no matter how mad you got, it didn't stop him. It didn't slow him down.
Never. I mean, he would, the phone tricks, the money on the floor tricks with the string.
What else? How else would he fuck with you?
Hey, wait. Didn't he do something? This is all coming back to me now. Didn't he convince the guy at the garage to say that your car was gone? Did he, or he never pulled that one off? He was working on that one.
No, he never did. No, he never. That never worked. That never. But I mean, he would love to constantly fuck with me every way he could.
Now, you had this tape. Like when you did it with him, did you think, okay, one day I'm gonna, when he'll get his?
Not really. I just. He came and he said, I want to record this thing. And I really didn't know what it was for. I thought it was like a goof. I didn't think it was a serious audition tape because it obviously didn't sound like a serious audition. He wasn't an announcer. So I just took it like, all right, I don't know what the fuck he's trying to do.
You thought it might be a bit of some kind?
Yeah, I wasn't positive what he was doing.
And were you giving him that detailed feedback on his performance as it went on?
I gave him, because I didn't know what he wanted to do. So he went on. He was asking advice. Does that sound good? I'm like, yeah, you can, go a little more up and, try one easy, try one more, high energy.
Was there ever any discussion like, hey, I'd like, can you help me with this and keep it private?
Yeah, he didn't want anybody to know about it.
And did you agree to not say it?
Yes. As a matter of fact, after we were done, he told me to email it to somebody, and they said, please destroy it. and he actually came over to my computer and watched me delete the file.
And
unbeknownst to him, there was a copy of that file somewhere else on the computer.
So what made you decide eventually to give it to this
And I knew I had to save it because
evil genius?
I mean, Howard's mantra was always record, never stop recording.
Right.
Record everything.
Right.
And save everything.
Right.
So that's what we did, and that's what I did.
But I'm saying, at what point did you decide, okay, I'm going to let Gary and the guys know that we've got this?
See, I forgot about it, and I figured I was fucked. And then a few months later, when John came out and announced that he was leaving to go to the Tonight Show as their announcer, I go, that fuck. And I realized I still had that tape.
Wait, why that fuck?
Because, I mean, he was just like, how can he possibly be an announcer with that kind of voice?
Oh, okay. So you're saying like that fuck, like how can he reach this level?
Yeah, I mean, he's the classic example of falling up.
And how did John react to you? How did he treat you after that? Gary says he hasn't spoken to you since.
No, I saw him once out in Vegas, and he barely looked at me.
But I mean, that day.
Oh,
if you can remember back.
Oh, God, he was so angry. I mean, he's like, I trusted you. You were my friend. You tell me things I don't tell anybody. And he was just so mad. I mean, I had it, and I excuse me, I saved it for the great time, and I wasn't going to use it until he announced that I'm the announcer on the Tonight Show.
Right. So you did no harm in that sense, but he's still pissed that you betrayed his confidence.
Yeah, he already had the job. I didn't fuck it up. In other words, I didn't go right to Howard and say, John recorded this tape. I held it.
All right, and JD, you love when Fred was doing Scott giving John advice during the session, right?
Oh, of course. Yeah. I've seen Scott in the middle of recording sessions, and he just sits there, doesn't react to anything you say or do, and just stares at the waveform going by that's recording.
Wait a minute. And Artie was like, "Oh, Scott's one take. Get out. You're done. You don't need it. It's perfect." That's not true.
You think that's unfair?
That was unfair, yeah.
Oh, you think you're the most welcoming engineer when you go in there to do stuff, when people come in to do stuff with you?
Of course I am.
Bullshit.
Come in. Have a seat. Relax.
JD, what's he like? What's he like?
The fuck do you want?
Hey, it's Gary Dell'Abate, Baba Booey. On Wednesday's wrap-up show, we talked about how we had on the best guest we could possibly have on, one of the greatest musicians of all times, an American icon, Paul McCartney. And then we also talked about how Robin hurled herself at him to try to get a date and was rebuffed. That's how it went.
There was a Beatle up here today, Gary, and it was Sir Paul McCartney.
Will and I were talking. First of all, we were trying to figure out, is there a guest? Who's the biggest guest that's ever been on the show? Who would you say is bigger than him? And we couldn't come up with anybody. Mickey Mantle. We had Mickey Mantle on the show once, but
I would say McCartney's bigger than Mickey Mantle.
Okay, Schwarzenegger at the height of his fame.
McCartney's bigger.
I agree. We couldn't think of anybody. I can't think of anybody that's been on the show that's bigger than McCartney.
And
he transcends everything. My mother, who's 82 years old, knows who he is. My 11-year-old was thrilled he was coming in, and everybody in between gives a shit.
It's funny you said that. I told my daughters that, and they couldn't believe it. They were like, "One of the Beatles is coming in." I'm like,
they were thrilled.
Yeah,
and I got to tell you, the big announcement that Paul made, which I knew already, that was exciting, is that there's a Beatles rock band coming out.
I know. I don't know if it's Guitar Hero or Rock Band. I think it's Guitar Hero.
Well, one of those.
Howard, do you play Guitar Hero? And he goes, no. But he's going to make a ton of money off of when the Beatle version comes out. But and Steve Brandano, hosts the Intern Show, which is on 7 o'clock tonight on Howard 101, made an interesting point when he did his thing. He said the interns were more excited about Paul McCartney than they were for Brody Jenner.
And Will and I were trying to figure out he came up with security, but it wasn't like insane security. I've heard people who aren't as big as Paul, come up through the back entrance with tons and tons of security. But we were saying that there's a guy whose every move is monitored. If he blows his nose and throws a tissue in the garbage, some idiot's going to fish it out.
That's true.
People watch everything he does, and being that guy, he's pretty level-headed, pretty low-key considering.
I remember, and you guys know we're huge Beatle fanatics, but I remember reading a lot about how he sort of drives his own car. He's very down-to-earth. Now, granted, he's one of the richest men in the world, but he's sort of a regular guy in a sense, which I know you're thinking, how could he be a regular guy?
He's as regular a guy as you can be with $1 billion. No, but I mean that as a compliment. He's as regular a guy as you can be. I liked his take on Ringo. How Ringo's always been sort of a curmudgeon. Ringo's always been one of those guys who's been irritated by people. Peace and love, peace and love.
And how they cut off his head in Liverpool. That's over. I mean, you got to be careful.
They cut off his lawn head.
Yes, his lawn head, not his actual head. But Paul, I'm trying to think of another. And if you have any ideas, call in with it.
I would say
of a guest who's rivaled Paul McCartney.
Mantle is the closest as far as being an icon, and I still think McCartney's bigger.
I agree. And we were all in awe. We'll get to Robin, who was particularly in awe. Somebody said Robin is out Lisa G'ing herself in like making her play for McCartney.
I told Will we needed to put a bucket under her chair.
But you know what? You can't blame her. And we were talking about it during the break, and she's like, I grew up idolizing him. She had Beatles trading cards.
I know, but
she is in, ridiculous head over heels.
Right, but I just
love with him.
It was interesting that maybe Robin is a classic example that for women, you hit your sexual peak as you get older, because she's clearly getting more sexual as she gets older. But I mean, in all the years of the show, she's never really been that overtly like, I will, do things to you can't believe.
To the point where Paul McCartney said to Howard, you put her up to this, right? This is some kind of bit. Right. And Robin's like, no.
Who was the guy that Robin was flirting with? Was it Wyclef? Who was the guy that went into her room?
That was Wyclef.
And picked her up and started like dry humping her.
Yes, but Wyclef can step aside for Paul McCartney.
Oh, no doubt.
I think.
And he would, too.
It's an interesting male-female thing that, like, is there a woman of that kind of achievement at that age that we would go crazy for?
Well, I think the at that age is the disclaimer in that.
Well, let's take it back another one. What woman is there a woman of that achievement in the arts or in any other place that we would be that excited by? Hillary Clinton?
Well, Madonna. I mean, but I'm saying that you'd want to.
But
fuck
I don't think. Yeah, I don't think you'd be throwing
not,
yourself
not
at Hillary
fuck,
Clinton.
Not because you want to fuck because just like, hey, it's a great story. But you like Robin's sincerely turned on by him because of who he is.
Raquel Welch.
No, because I've seen her. Right.
It's a good question. I really don't know.
What happened? I don't know. Men age gracefully a little bit better. The women. There were some women that they get older and they really are doing really well, and then all of a sudden it falls apart.
But I think
remember how hot Anne Margaret was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, a lot of people thought Sophia Loren held on to her looks for a very long time.
But what I'm saying, it's clearly not about. I mean, Paul's a handsome guy, I think, but it's not about the looks. I think if he aged really badly 10 years from now, Robin would still want him.
That's a good question for Robin. I think if Paul came in 100 pounds heavier and with a limp and whatever, I don't know if she would feel the same way. I really don't. Do you, Gary?
No, I think he still sort of has his looks. He's still there. You can see the guy that was the young guy still there. He still resembles him.
And he walks in with a Hofner bass and says, "Happy birthday, Howard."
Which was awesome. And that was the guy who runs this whole place, Scott Greenstein. Howard likes to collect guitars, and he was at Howard's house and saw an empty space. And that's a reference that Paul made when he walked in. Howard has like these pillars, and Scott recognized that there was a guitar missing from one of the pillars, and Paul walks in and he goes, "This is for your fourth pillar." And that's what he meant by that.
Now, we've talked before when Howard had interviewed McCartney a few years ago, how he doesn't get choked up, but he definitely, he's very, he wants to prepare right. Not that he doesn't care about every interview, but he sort of gets a chill when when Paul McCartney's in his presence.
It's one of the few guests I've ever seen him be a little bit in awe of, or I don't know if the word is in awe, but he shows such a great respect. And, we did a lot of things today, like we didn't bother him with pre-interviews with Lisa G and the cameras. We didn't take pictures in the studio. Howard's like, a guest of that caliber should be able to come in and come out and, not feel bothered.
Do you think they have a special chemistry, the two of them?
I do. I really do, because McCartney clearly seems to like him. And Howard, of course, you could see that Howard loves McCartney. But McCartney clearly seems to, find Howard endearing.
Yeah, I think he knows what to expect from Howard. And when Howard started asking a little bit about Heather Mills or about his kids or whatever, McCartney backed off on it, but didn't do it in an asshole kind of way.
Right. He's like, dude, I'm not going to go there, but, let's chat.
And Howard was a genuine big fan of his new record, apparently.
Yeah, I liked the little bit that I heard. I'm going to take the whole record home and listen to it on the way home today.
All right, let's go to the phones. We'll start with Jay and Troy. Jay, welcome to the wrap-up show.
Hey, boys. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Real great, thanks. I hopped up a couple hours early just to listen to McCartney. And what you guys were saying about if Paul came in a couple pounds heavier or something, you got to remember, he's still got $1 billion, okay? He looks pretty fucking good. The difference between Mantle and maybe McCartney, and Gary, I don't know, you might remember this. When Mantle died, Howard sang a song. You probably don't remember it, do you, Gary?
No.
It was... And this is the difference. He wouldn't talk like McCartney like that. But when Mantle died, Howard sang, "It's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out when you drink like that."
Yeah, but let's take that part out. I know what you're saying. Howard is not in awe of Mantle. He recognizes that almost every other guy is. Howard's not such a sports freak that is like, oh my God, it's Mantle. So it's not about whether it was big to Howard, because clearly McCartney's bigger to Howard than anybody. But who is a bigger icon to have come in the studio is the question.
Yeah, the last time he was in was right after 9/11 also, and it was thrilling for me to be this far away hearing it. You guys must be thrilled to be able to meet and greet the guy. God bless you. You're lucky people.
Yeah, that's a part of the job I love the most.
Yeah, I mean, everybody here feels pretty lucky. Everyone was charged up. Even this morning at 5:45, people were had a ton of energy.
It was funny. I realized that I usually get here about 5:30 in the morning, and I realized I walked in the door at 5:15. I realized I didn't set my alarm any earlier, but I got up early and just got up and was it was fun to come to work today.
Lisa G seemed pretty fired up as well.
How could you tell?
What do you mean, Gary?
She liked him, huh?
You think?
She's ready to do things?
I think she was willing to even put up a performance for him. She said she wanted to play with him, I believe, and I'm no double entendre there.
Little Eleanor Rigby on her viola.
Hey, what's up? This is Will, and on Thursday's wrap-up show, we talked about the girls for Dumb as a Rock and how they were literally dumb as a rock. Check it out.
The big game that happened today on the Howard Stern show, and that was entitled Dumb as a Rock. And if there ever was an appropriate title for a game, I think this might have been it.
Yeah, I think it was created by Sal. Is this Sal's
No,
name?
I think it's something that just came up in the meeting. I think I said this girl is dumb as a rock, and I think Howard almost said, "Oh, that might be a funny game. We should make the girl say I'm as dumb as a rock."
But I got to say, you know what? These things always look good on paper. Will did a great job because you got to find. You can't just pick 3 girls and bring them in. You got to find 3 girls who are dumb, and God, did you find them?
Well, it's as far as a porn star goes, it's really funny because I talk to these guys all the time, guys that cast these girls in movies, and 3 casting agents or directors said to me, "Oh, I got the perfect girl for you," and they all said both of them, they're actually sisters, Brittany and Whitney, and they says they're both half retarded.
And in fact, I think we sort of missed something. I think we may have to have the sisters back.
Yeah, I think we're going to try and use them for Porn Actor Studio. Actually.
That'd be perfect.
Yeah.
First family version.
Yeah, I think she said that would be a little weird.
Right, that would be a little weird.
You know what I just realized? I went ugh, just because that's what you guys always do, but that's hot as hell.
It's not that hot.
Yeah, it is.
We got to find out on
if the 2 chicks are hot, the 2 sisters are hot. That's hot as hell.
We're still working it out with Howard TV whether they can make out on camera or not. So,
but the other girls that were in there too from that
they're from Mama's Boys. So I know that the Mama's Boys, one of the publicists was trying to get girls on from the show, and I said, "Look, we got this bit coming up where we're looking for dumb girls," and they brought me a few girls, and I just gave them a quick quiz. It was simple, who won the Civil War. I think both of them said the South, and that was pretty much
right.
You're booked.
Because who was the first girl? Who was girl number 1?
Kyra was
with the C.
She couldn't stop laughing. Everything was funny. She giggled at everything. Even when we played her song, we were like, "What are you laughing at?"
Yeah, she was funny. But Megan, the second one, when I did the interview with her, I think she just knows she's not that bright, which is kind of funny. And she was very apprehensive to do the game because she knew exactly what it was going to be. But she was a good sport.
At what point?
And super hot.
At what point did they realize they're being pitched because they're so
I don't know if Kara ever got it. I think she was just happy to come back to the show. But Megan, the second one, she got it almost immediately. Obviously, when you pitch the premise of the game, you have to say I'm as dumb as a rock. Right. They know something's up. The third one, I don't know. She was probably busy picking her nose or something.
Isn't that uncomfortable, though? Because I always tell the story about when we were doing Butterface contest.
Yeah.
And this girl called me up and she goes, I was at class today and a guy in my class said he gave me your number and said I should call you. You're having a contest. And I said, well, did he tell you what it's for? She goes, yeah, he said it's for girls with really hot bodies. Now I got to explain to her what a Butterface is.
Right.
And she's like, oh. Yeah, let me get back to you on that.
And it's funny, too, because I always tell the publicist first, and then they go back and find some of the girls or give them to me, but they never tell them what it's all about. I'm the one that's supposed to go tell them.
You're the idiot.
You're a retard.
Now, Karen and Megan were one thing, but Brittany was a whole different level.
Oh, she was great.
I mean, she was the Roman numeral one, correct?
Yeah.
Well, they were
all
They all got it wrong.
But she was the one. Actually,
no. She was the one. I think that her legendary answer. We asked her what a carnivore was, and then we asked her to break it down in syllables, and she thought it was some sort of a truck because she got car out of it.
Yeah. If you missed this game, Teddy, hit clip number 1. Here's a little bit.
What is the symbol for the Roman numeral 10? What is the symbol? Don't help. If you do, I'm going to take away your money and I'm going to spank you here on television.
The symbol for the Roman numeral 10.
What is the symbol? Do you know what a Roman numeral is?
Yeah, I do.
What do you know about that?
I'm really bad at math.
Do you know about Rome, ancient Rome, at all?
Not really.
All right, so what is this
Have
Roman...
you seen Roman numeral?
And why would anyone want a Roman numeral?
No.
I don't even know how to say what the symbol is. Like, how do you say that?
You don't know.
No, I don't. I don't.
Can't help you, sweetheart.
Let's wait. Let's work through this.
Okay.
All right, so we're looking for the Roman numeral symbol for 10. First of all, what number comes after 10?
I'll tell you, pulled it down. She said 9.
Oh, it ended. I'm sorry.
It's okay, but you sort of get the point. Would anyone here qualify to play that game? You think?
Sal?
Nah, even Sal knows. We'd have to make the questions a little bit harder.
Maybe.
Sal, do you think Sal knows if the North or the South won the Civil War?
I think
now
he knows. Yeah,
him like 20
history is really. I mean, Sal math is okay.
Do you think Sal would know the Roman numeral for 50?
I don't know.
He didn't. He thought Puerto Rico was a state,
right?
And I don't think he did know who won the Civil War.
Wait, I don't even know for sure. Is it VX?
Is it L or M?
Oh, let's see. I didn't know.
I don't know. I don't know. It's so obvious.
What is it?
It's L. But okay, maybe that was too hard.
John playing dumb as a rock in a different.
I went to Adelphi, Mr. Braggart, not Michigan.
That's right. We know our Roman numerals at the University of Michigan. Do you feel bad for these girls? I mean, well, first of all, what's the look on their face when they're saying, "I'm as dumb as a rock"? Their eyes seem to drop a little bit. And how would you describe it?
The first girl she giggled no matter what she did.
Right.
The second girl, like Will said, she sort of knew what she was doing, and the third girl, I think, knows what her lot in life is, and just sort of, of course I'm dumb as a rock.
The one thing you always say to the girls is just don't take it too seriously. It's just a stupid game. Have fun with it. Whatever.
I thought the most insulting part of the game was that Artie was laughing uncontrollably, and at one point the girl goes, "What are you laughing at?" He goes, "Because you're insanely wrong."
My tea. I'm here for a Howard Stern show on Sirius. It's my first visit. I wanted to wait a few years, make sure that it worked out. And so far, after they filed for bankruptcy, I figured, well, I better go just in case they shut down tomorrow.
I'm going to get Rob Schneider right in here. Rob used to be on Saturday Night Live, went on to movie fame, just released a movie on video. I don't know why... excuse me. I don't know why they didn't put this in the theaters, Robin, because I think it's real funny. Big Stan. There's the star of Big Stan.
There he is.
Hey, Rob. That's a great movie, man.
Thank you. You see it?
Fuck yeah. It's funny as hell.
Oh, thank you.
You see, this movie, Big Stan, that Rob just put out, he directed it. And why didn't it come out in the theater? Would have done well.
It just, it would have done well. It was a little movie, and it just kind of got lost. The company that had it went bankrupt.
But why is it a little movie? What do you mean little movie?
Because it didn't get to be, we made it for not a lot of money.
How much did it cost to make a movie? You directed it, right?
$6 million.
Which in today's world of movies is almost nothing.
Yeah, that's usually
what my salary used to be. So
right, that was your quote. This movie, it's very simple. Rob's character is afraid of getting ass raped in prison.
How do you come up with these ideas?
I don't know how you come up with it, but it's really funny. This guy's afraid of being ass raped in prison.
Yeah.
So he's got a really hot wife. Did you bang that chick who plays your hot wife?
No, but you know what? Right after the movie, she became single. It was just one of the things. She was engaged during the whole movie, and then after. She looks great, huh? She's from a house.
She's way cute,
Jennifer
that chick.
Morrison. Yeah. She's a doll.
Oh, I thought for sure you were banging her.
Isn't he a married man? Wasn't he a married man?
I'm a divorced man.
Oh, now you're a divorced man.
Weren't you married? Were you married to a Playboy chick or something?
No, that's David Spade.
No. Who were you married to? You were married to
just a nice girl. I don't like famous girls. I like ordinary girls. I always fall for the waitress. You know what I mean?
But I saw
Normal
a picture. That's bullshit because there's Artie.
Hey, Artie.
I saw a picture of a chick that you
she was hot though.
Dated Nicoletta or Nicolette or something.
Something like that. Sounds
oh
about
my
right.
God!
Yeah, she was good looking.
That was no regular chick.
Yeah, you're right. No, she was a hot regular.
What was she, a model?
No. She's a graphic. She is a graphic artist.
She was perfect.
No,
what happened? What went wrong there? Did you move her in with you?
I guess she just realized, what show business life's not that healthiest.
Why is that? Oh, you were cheating?
No, I wish I was. I wish I had an excuse for why she didn't want to be married anymore, but she just didn't.
Wait, the chick you were married to?
That's the one.
No. Oh, that's Nicolette?
No. It's something like that. I'm not allowed to talk about her, but yeah, it's something
You're not
like
allowed to talk about your ex-wife?
Is the divorce?
She's
you
Brazilian.
Can't even mention her?
No, that was part of the divorce thing.
Wait a second, I'm confused.
She got all the cash, I got the dog, and then I'm not allowed to say anything about her. But no, she's a good girl.
Wait,
but
can I just understand your chronology here?
She's too young.
You got married, what, like 2 years ago?
6.
6 years ago. Okay, you got married, and then you got divorced.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we still went out for like a couple of years after.
Oh, you did?
I couldn't let go.
Okay, because she was that hot.
Yes.
And so part of the divorce is you can't talk about her or anything, which is smart because, you don't want to pay more money.
She's got all the money.
Did you really lose all your money?
Yes, all the cash.
All the cash is gone.
Wow.
All
I
right.
still have some of the possessions.
The cash, all that American cash went to Brazil.
Yeah, all that.
So she's a very wealthy woman now.
She's twice as wealthy.
She did good. She did all right.
Yeah.
But you know what, though?
But then you started dating.
Yeah.
And then, who is this Nicoletta T? I saw a picture, and someone said to me, this was Rob's girlfriend.
Well, I'd love to see it. I mean,
bring in the picture of Rob's girlfriend.
What he's saying, it's probably the same girl.
No.
It's got to be the same girl.
It's not the wife.
Sure?
I don't think so.
It's got to be.
Was your wife's name
But I'm dating a
Nicolette?
great girl now.
Wait a second. Was your wife's name Nicolette?
No. I can't. I don't want to say her name.
No, don't say her name.
But yeah, no, it wasn't
That
Nicolette. But it
costs
sounds
more money?
like that. It's kind of exotic name. She's Brazilian.
You're dating a girl now?
Yeah.
And she moved in with you?
She's moving in next Friday.
Are you going to hold on to this one or
This
what?
one, yeah, totally. I mean,
How
I went
long
through the
have you been
Rolodex
dating?
on my phone, got rid of all the girls' numbers. I'm doing the whole thing.
Really?
How long
Editing
have you been
my
dating?
Facebook, the whole thing.
Wow.
Getting rid of the evidence in the house.
How long have you
That's
been
taken
dating
some
this
time.
one, Rob?
A few months. It's good.
But you could end up cheating. That's what broke up the first marriage.
No. Actually, it wasn't cheating. It just she just discovered she was married to me, and just said, you know what, this isn't that great. It seemed
I heard
good.
you were cheating.
No. You're confusing me with David Spade.
You sure?
I think so. I wish I was cheating at this one. I don't know. To be honest, I think when we were dating after the divorce, I think I did do some cheating.
Because
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, because I remember one movie you were doing. I think when you were shooting Deuce Bigelow 2.
It's kind of hard. You're in Europe and you're surrounded by beautiful girls.
Yeah. You get a lot of pussy.
Oh, yeah,
People
remember?
fly under the radar. You're not like a David Spade.
I fly deeper under the radar than David.
Spade had a kid, with a Playboy playmate.
I know.
Is that your
Our
worst nightmare?
Playboy playmate.
Right.
I know, but the worst part of that nightmare is that he can't even she doesn't even live in the same continent
vicinity.
Yeah, I mean, it's not in the same area code.
Well, you remember, Rob, when we were the last time we were in Vegas, maybe he sent over auditions for chicks for. They auditioned all these
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
chick.
Remember the audition tape?
Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo.
Yeah.
They were only the hottest chicks I've ever seen in my fucking life.
That was pretty darn good.
Oh my God.
I got to tell you about Rob's new movie because it really is good.
Sounds
It's
great.
called Big Stan. It wasn't in the movie theaters, which should have been.
It was in the movie theaters like in Mexico, and I got it in Spain, Australia, Bulgaria.
That's a shame.
Germany.
This movie's really funny. Now, I'm not bullshitting you. This movie is unbelievable.
It sounds great.
So Rob's this super successful rip-off real estate guy. He gets busted and Judge gives him 3 to 5 years in prison.
Big Stan.
So Rob's got this hot wife and everything, and he's freaking out because the only thing he knows about prison is you get fucked in your ass, you get ass raped. So he runs into some guy who was actually in prison at a bar.
You know who that was?
Yeah. I was surprised. I saw it in the credits. That was the guy who played
Grizzly Adams.
Grizzly Adams.
Oh, you
Dan
kidding?
Haggerty.
Dan Haggerty you found?
So listen to
was
this.
Great.
Yeah, he was really good. He says to him, man, look, he looks at Rob and he goes,
I'd love to see
you
what
are
Dan
going to
Haggerty
get
looks like.
so ass fucked in prison, like everyone's going to fucking rape you. So Rob's freaking out. He goes to karate school. And in karate school, you've been to karate school, Robin. You know, they just have, he's a yellow belt. He's going nowhere.
Nobody
I'm a
can
yellow
beat
belt.
anybody up with a yellow belt.
Nobody's afraid of a yellow belt.
He's got 6 months to learn karate, or else, it's over for him. Because in prison, everyone is just going to be raping Rob over and over and over again. So
Nazis, raped by Nazis?
He runs into David Carradine, Kung Fu,
Yeah, he's great.
who Rob brings to his house, and he starts training Rob. Well, within 6 months' time, Rob becomes like a killing machine, and he even learns the finger of death. He can take one finger and fucking like punch it through a brick wall.
Oh, really?
That's how powerful he is.
He becomes like a master.
So I don't want to ruin the whole movie, but he goes to prison. And he right away he has to beat the shit out of like the worst rapist.
You can't ruin this movie because every scene you've described, I want to see.
Yeah, that's right. He beats up this black guy.
Bob Sapp. He's a mixed martial arts guy. 400 pounds.
400 pounds.
400 pounds.
This black guy's in the middle of raping one of these prisoners, and Rob goes, "Come here," and it beats the shit out of him. Then he beats up the entire Aryan. You know how everyone's broken into groups?
Right.
He beats up the entire Aryan nations. Like all of the guys.
That's good, because if you're a white guy going to the joint, they tell you, I don't give a fuck if you're a liberal. You have to join the Aryan Nation, otherwise you'll die.
So Big Stan is coming out on DVD when?
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's just something that, like, it was a little too dirty. The studio, Columbia liked it, but it was a little too dirty. And they so there's some stuff I said, you know what, I want to make this just like this, because it's about, to me, that's what's funny about it. It's a guy who's afraid to get raped. What's interesting is that women...
Everything is rape in this movie. It's so great. It's like it's the guys who are either getting fucked in the ass or fighting not to get fucked in the ass.
Yeah.
And then Rob at one point fights a guy and gives him the finger of death right up his asshole.
Yeah.
Like everything is ass and like guys.
It is. I ban rape in the prisons.
Yeah.
And they say, well, what about for child molesters? Okay, then you can rape them. And what about what about the guys convicted of rape? Yeah, you can rape them. Pedophiles. Right. What about counterfeiters? Or wait a minute, you're the Big Raymond. You're the only counterfeiter here. Oh, you just want somebody to rape you, and so anyway,
it's all about ass raping.
Well, it's kind of timely because the guy's a white collar criminal, right? And
right.
We hope that a lot of white collar criminals go to jail right now.
Yeah, I should have said he was from AIG.
Yeah.
And like what's funny about this is like there were like accidents on the set during this. David Carradine broke his hand or something.
David Carradine broke my finger.
Broke your finger?
Yeah, he broke my finger. We're doing the sticks, and David's the best. I love
Are you
David.
a martial artist?
Well, I did it for 7 months for the movie, and it took forever to get the money to make it. So at one point, as a director, I'm going, oh, this is ridiculous. And at the same time, I was like, wait, I got time to learn this stuff. Because the two sticks, the Screamer sticks, are a lot of fun. They're Filipino. Like the guy, it was great because you can just get on the phone when you're making movies. You know this, too. Right. You can just call people, and they'll show up. Like, who taught Bruce Lee? Get that fucker.
Right.
And then the next thing you go, we got the guy who introduced Bruce Lee to the nunchucks. This guy, Guro Dan Inosanto.
Right.
He taught me to do the nunchucks.
Well, yeah, you look pretty authentic doing it. It was good.
I got ripped, and then I think I got out of shape in about a week.
Yeah, but you did real well. And then also you collapsed on set from exhaustion.
Well,
what's that all
What is
about?
going on
I
there?
was starting to get a little cocky. First of all, I practiced the heat because we shot it in up in Stockton in a prison with real prisoners. We had 90% because they're cheaper.
Right.
They work for $14 a day. So we said, okay, we can afford those guys. But then the caterers, they had the refrigerators out there and plugged in, and it was 114 degrees in the day. And then eventually, the 5 eggs I had, every morning. I'm eating the eggs, and what did Bruce Lee eat? 5 eggs? I'll eat that. So then, anyway, I ate 5 poison eggs. Next thing you know, I'm puking my guts out. It's the last scene in the movie that there's where you see me like walking out of the prison. I'm as sick as a dog. I am so sick. And finally, the next day I missed 1 day on the set.
How long does it take to shoot a movie like this?
This was pretty quick, like 2 months. Usually
2 months.
3 months.
Yeah.
But this is like kind of relentless. I try not to work the crew on weekends because it's imagine getting your guys to work on Saturday. They just can't do it.
I can't even get them to work on Friday. What are you talking about?
After 25 years.
Right.
But so it ended up being okay, though. But 5 days, and then... but yeah, I got sick as a dog, and then they still shot some stuff one day that I was sick. But everybody was happy to be there. You know what was messed up was, I hired these great Mexican actors, former gangbangers, to be in the movie. I said, they look authentic, they got tattoos, we can have to waste time painting tattoos on these guys. They got the hateful tattoos on them, great. And so we brought them up, and they said, Rob, we can't go up to Northern California. It's the middle of a gang war, man. What do you mean? And so I said, we'll work out something. So there was a truce on the prison grounds while we're making the movie, but outside at the hotels or whatever, if they saw each other, they'd have to fight each other.
Wow.
But on the prison grounds.
Wow.
So I was like, wow, can I avoid that somehow?
Yeah, Rob trains all the prisoners in the movie to dance instead of fight, and they do big dance numbers.
Big line dances.
Got all the Aryans dancing with the black guys. It was great.
So what happened, Rob? Did they ever see each other at the hotel? Did you work it out to where
there was no stabbings? There was some mean looks at her.
Right.
But actually, everyone had a good time on the movie.
You had to negotiate a truce between the gangs.
Yeah, there was. But
hey, Rob did something cool.
What?
You know when Mel Gibson, turned out he was, he hates Jews.
Mm-hmm.
He made,
surprise.
Yeah. Rob took out a 2-page ad saying he was the first actor to say he would never work with Mel Gibson. I mean, not that you were going to work with Mel.
Mel wasn't calling.
But it was kind of cool. You took out an ad in Variety.
But the ad was like most because CNN wanted to talk to me. It's like, did you read the thing? No, most of the guys, the reporters, it makes you realize the journalists are such idiots because nobody read the whole thing.
Right.
Because it was a comment on Mel Gibson. What he said was bad, but it was also a comment on Hollywood being out, upset. They're upset unless they can make a nickel off them.
Right. Then suddenly it's not so bad.
But the thing was pretty funny in there. There's some funny lines.
I like that. So now, where are we at with everything? What are we doing now? What's the game plan?
No, the game plan is just to,
release the video. How do you get the DVD? You got to go on the
You got to get it.
It's
on iTunes. It's on DVD, and then it's going to be on pay-per-view.
It's called Big Stand.
Big Stand, but it's my favorite movie because I got tired of doing the studio system because it was like a little too. Yes, I could pay for my house and my beach house and my parents, my mom's place, but at a certain point, it just like I couldn't do exactly what I wanted to do. So this was a movie. I said, you know what? I'm going to do exactly what I want to do because I could have cut 5 minutes here or there or whatever. But like I got great actors: Henry Gibson, David Carradine, Emmett Walsh.
Yeah, it looked like you were having fun.
And everyone was happy to be there.
That's good. You guys. How come Adam Sandler's not involved in this? I thought you guys do everything together.
I wanted him to come and do a small part in the prison, but I thought, let's just let this one be separate.
Yeah, you didn't even bother him on this one.
I
didn't. You're right.
Right.
You're never going to sell
You know what that's
out?
like? Like you ask favors from people.
It's enough.
You go, you know what?
You didn't need
enough.
him for this one.
That's what I figured. You know?
Are you never going to sell out and do a children's film and that whole thing?
Yeah, if I have to, absolutely.
Of course he'd sell out.
Of course. That's what this is about.
He's got a hot chick moving in with him.
Yeah, I know, I do. But the thing is, there's nobody, what I take pride in, Artie, you back me up on this.
Go ahead.
There's no company, there's no place, there is no agency that's keeping track of everybody's personal integrity.
Right. You got to pay the bills.
Yeah. You know what? I got to do that commercial in Japan if I have to.
That's right.
Certainly back you up on that.
And why were you in Israel?
You know what? I've never been. And my dad was his dream to always go. He passed away.
Are you Jewish?
My dad was Jewish. My mom was a Catholic. So when I go to confession, I bring my attorney.
Right.
But no, so my dad never went. And then I got invited. I met all these great Jews on Zohan.
Oh, that's right. You were in Zohan.
Yeah, I played the Palestinian guy, and so I figured between wars, go check it out.
Weren't you afraid to go to Israel? I mean,
no, not really. Maybe I'm stupid or something.
You didn't think you were going to get blown up or something?
No, I was in Tel Aviv. Tel Aviv was like Miami.
You meet any hot chicks there?
Honestly, some of the hottest women I've ever seen in my life.
No kidding.
Well, because
were you able to bang there, or is there a language problem?
Well, you know what? Jewish girls and banging them, they got to do the whole third date thing, and I wasn't there that long. But there was these great-looking French Jews that I'd never. First of all, I thought the French gave up their whole Jews. That was the whole thing about the French.
Right.
But they apparently a couple of them survived, and some hot ones because they're loaded with them. What happens is because there's anti-Semitism that's coming back in Europe and stuff. So a lot of the safe, good place to go is where there's other Jews.
Right.
Well, we outnumber the rest. And so it was incredible. Summertime there, you got to go.
No kidding.
It was fantastic.
But you didn't get laid.
Well, no, not as much as I, a little little bit. Not a lot. I would say I was not the full-on David Spade. 25% David Spade.
Right. Spade's the king of all you guys from Saturday Night
Spade,
Live.
I don't know how that worked out.
He is like a stud. Like, he fucks everybody.
No, but he just, you know what it is, I think? It's because they look at him and go, oh, that guy's not going to try to fuck me. Look at him. He's tiny. How could I could defend myself? And the next thing you know, they're getting banged by him.
He's relentless.
But I mean, you're hung up on the height thing. He's about the same height as you, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you guys are about the same
I'm a little
height.
thicker. I think I got a little...
I mean, you actually have a little more manliness to you, right?
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
thicker.
You would think that worked, but I just not. I don't know. I think David puts more time into it. If there was a doctorate in getting pussy, he would be like a professor emeritus at MIT.
I would want to learn from Spade how to get pussy because like any good-looking guy can get pussy, but Spade's like us. He's not the handsomest guy in the world, and yet he gets all the top chicks.
But he's put in his time, though. I mean, he's put in 3 decades, and he's got all the moves figured out.
He does.
The other thing Spade don't give a fuck about, and I respect this, he doesn't give a shit. Like, he'll do a shitty sitcom. And some other guys will go, well, you want to be on a shit sitcom like that? It's not that funny. He'll go, I could give a fuck. I'll just make my lines funny.
He's making a fortune.
And I'll get a fortune.
He's likable in anything he does.
Right. And then I'll just bang chicks that I meet on the sitcom set. You know what I mean? He'll say stuff to you like, why the fuck did you get into this business?
Some good-looking
I got him
girl.
for money and pussy. That's what I'm
Artie,
doing. Yeah.
must have been, and I never asked him, and I should ask him. And maybe we're doing a movie with him and Sandler and Kevin James and Chris Rock this summer. It's about some guys. It's like Adam Sandler's Big Chill, and it's all of us getting back together.
Right.
And because our basketball coach died, and he's David Spade. The whole role is written for him. It's the guy who's dating 20-year-olds, and I got a 20-year-old daughter. I have a 19-year-old actually in real life, and he tries to bang my daughters in the movie. But he's
so
really
Sandler's
funny
putting you in his next movie. I mean, this is like working into a full-time job,
It's
just
like
working for Sandler.
It's going to be like our 18th movie we work together.
Does he pay decently? I mean, is he cheap with his friends? Because
No, he's just honestly, I think he's the nicest guy in the history of show business.
Right.
And I ask him, sometimes I'll just tell him, say, Adam, you can get anybody you want.
Right.
I said, why don't you hire Nick Nolte or this or this? I said, because I know you'll do whatever the hell I tell you to do.
He doesn't
so
want to
what if
work
this
with
guy
those
says
guys.
no, and we have fun together. And basically, it's like a playground.
Right.
It's like, because we had fun when we were, stand-ups and then Saturday Night Live. And this is like, we can hang out for a month and we can talk about whatever we want.
You still watching Saturday Night Live, or you don't even bother?
I don't see it as much as I used to. There's some funny guys. I mean, it's just weird to me. I haven't been on the show in like 14 or 15 years. 15 years, and then Will Ferrell, he hasn't been on in years.
Right.
So it's just the time just goes by.
Are you hurt by that? I mean, would you like Lorne Michaels to pick up the phone and say, hey, Rob, come on, you're doing pretty well. Why don't you come on and
you know
help
what?
us out?"
I would have really liked that phone call 12 years ago when I was doing a sitcom and use the help. But,
Right.
I get it. It's like, it's always been that, well, who's hot right now? Who can help the show now? And I get that. So it's like, unless you are, it's like it's not a big deal. If I get nominated for an Academy Award for Big Stan, the DVD, I'll get a phone call. But, you can't take things that, you know what that's like. You
Right.
can't take things personally.
So you're not hung up on this kind of
No,
thing? You're not caught up in the show business world?
I got over it a few weeks ago.
You did?
No, but honestly, though, I mean, you have to, let things, you just got to let it go. It's going to eat you up or kill you. It's like, why can't I get this movie? Why doesn't Ridley Scott call me? How come, because he doesn't want to call you. He's working with, Leonardo. And so you just can't, what you try to do, it's like you forge your little niche out and just keep working. Because the next thing you know, I've been doing this for 25 years.
You know,
I'm
my
still
favorite
working.
story that you told, it still is, out of everything that we've ever heard on this show. You know what I'm going to say?
What's on that?
When Rob was the one, I believe, maybe I got it wrong, you were the one who told me the Steven Seagal story.
I got a new one for you.
You got a new one?
Oh, then he wrote the greatest screenplay.
Wait, but tell that. Wait.
Okay.
Just for anyone who's never heard that, tell the first story.
Okay, there's a writer that I know. I won't mention his name, but he was meeting Steven Seagal for the rewrite for the writing potentially for Under Siege 2.
Right.
And that was the one that broke him when it made $57 million when that was $57 million in the early 90s. And so he goes into one of those trailers, to meet with Steven Seagal, and he's on the set, and it's one of those big triple bangers where you go into this trailer and it's like you can get lost in there. It's a maze of pop-outs, It's like, which pop-out is Steven Seagal? And he's in the third bedroom to the left and the end of the
big star.
And he's waiting in there for 45 minutes. He's making him wait, sitting there by himself. Finally, Steven Seagal emerges from one of the other ante-rooms in the mobile home. And he comes out and he said, I just read the greatest script I've ever read in my life. He goes, really? Who wrote it? I did.
Oh,
But I will tell you, there's a newer one, and I think it's even superior. It's this has happened. I just heard that because I collect those stories like jewels. Anytime there's a Steven Seagal story, I love the Jamie Presley one. Where it's, I'm an expert in shiatsu massage. Please let me massage you. You know, you told me that one. And she, next thing you know, she's having her boobs grabbed on by him.
I'm an expert in shiatsu.
Let me give me those titties, baby. So anyway, he's doing a movie. He's doing a movie with Keenan Ivory Wayans.
Right.
And I did one, and that's where I heard Keenan tell me the story. I hope he doesn't mind me telling this story. But Steven Seagal had just met with the Dalai Lama. And apparently, if you give enough money to the Dalai Lama's charities, eventually you get something out of it. Right. And so the Dalai Lama made him a deity.
Wow.
A god. Some Tibetan Buddhist.
That must have really appealed to his ego.
Oh, yeah, no, it must have. No, so anyway, he comes to the set after he makes with the Dalai Lama, and he comes, now he's a god. He comes to the set, now he was Steven Seagal, now he's Steven Seagal. Now he's Steven Seagal, the god, the deity from the Dalai Lama. Wow. And he comes to the set, and he's there, and Keenan says, so what? I just met with the Dalai Lama, and he, in his wisdom, decided to make me a deity. And he gives the quang karang the ding da dong whatever. And I feel a difference. I feel like an enlightenment, the sense of that I can do something now, and everything just seems to come into place for me spiritually in my career. And I feel like it's certain things now that never made sense to me make sense to me on a universal level. And his assistant comes up to him and says, hey, Steven, your ex-wife called. She can't bring the kids over this weekend. You tell that fucking cunt. If she doesn't get those kids over here, I'll break her fucking neck.
Deity.
Yes,
I had no idea he was made a god by the Dalai Lama.
No wonder he doesn't do movies anymore.
I like
He's a
that.
god.
He
was made a god.
His wisdom.
He was made a god. Well, he's got to shoot from the waist up, from the chest up now.
Yeah, well, it's funny. Now you're an action hero with this new movie, Big Stan, and now you join the ranks of a guy like Steven Seagal.
Well, now that I tell Steven Seagal stories, at least now I can defend myself if I have to.
Maybe you should have put Steven Seagal in this movie. There might have been a part for him.
I would have. It just, I just think he's getting crazier and crazier as the years go on, as I guess we all are.
Not like that.
Not like that.
We're crazy.
You tell that fucking cunt, I'll break your goddamn neck. You can't bring those fucking kids.
That's fantastic.
So
isn't that the greatest?
Yeah.
So now you're in a good relationship.
You should do a DVD of all Steven. You should do a DVD of all Steven Seagal movies.
Because I'm ready.
Stories.
Yeah.
I want to recreate them and play him. That's a good idea.
Your next film.
I've got actually, I did a comedy CD because I got to do exactly what I wanted to do, and it's absolutely filthy. I think you guys will like it, but we did a video of it. I think it's going to be on howardstern.com if you guys want to check it out.
Okay.
And it's Iraq Love, about a guy going to Iraq, and he's talking to his girlfriend. He said, hey, listen, if anything happens to me over there, I just want you to know I love you. I'll be thinking about you. If I get if they blow off my legs, I'll be thinking about the time I went skiing with you. And, and we skied, and I beat you all the way to the bottom, and then I stuck my hand down your ski pants. There's just so much I want to do with you. And he's trying to talk her into, some disgusting sex.
I like that.
But anyway, so it's, and I don't know what the hell the album, I can't get that released either.
You will. Hey, Rob Schneider's film, Big Stan, is available on DVD tomorrow. We celebrate that. A couple of phone calls.
How does Rob know he's in a healthy relationship now?
He doesn't know.
I don't know.
He thinks he is.
Robin, let him think that.
Give me an illusion. She hasn't even moved in yet. She's moving in. She's moving in.
The big thing is the marriage.
How old is she? Is she much younger than you?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, okay.
No, she's in her late 20s.
Good, you're not slipping. That's what I was saying.
I think I'm aware of the same emotional thing, and I'm in my late teens emotionally.
Why won't you date a woman your age?
Because why do I don't have to. No, because I actually, I still want to have kids, and it's like, I'm in my 40s, dating
you have
my age.
You have to have kids.
I want to have some kids. Now, I got
kids?
Baby envy. I got one kid. She's 19, and she's great. She's a musician. She's at a university.
You want to go through that all over again?
That's what my friends say to me. You want to change diapers? Are you an idiot? And I said, yeah.
I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Lee, go ahead. You're on the air.
Thank you, Howard. Hey, Rob, a quick two-parter. I love the stories about the bad host on Saturday Night Live. If you could go tell some more about that. And also, I'd like to know your thoughts about Jay Moore's Saturday Night Live book.
Well, that was. By the way, you know what? I'll talk about the Jay Moore thing first. You know what? He described me as a very interesting asshole. I think that was a good description.
That sounds like an insult to me.
No, you know what though? But I guess at the time, he's a guy who's struggling to get on. I wrote his first bit to get him on.
Right.
The first thing he ever did on the show, so for him to call me an asshole. But no, I found it to be, pretty accurate, and it's okay, because it's like, at a certain point, that show turns you into an animal. It just does, to survive.
Why did he call you an asshole? What about you?
I just think, just because, there was a certain aggressive quality you have to do to survive there.
But you were generous enough to write his first bit.
I know, I know. But again, I kind of you develop a thicker skin. You have to.
What did he say you did that made you into an asshole? What were examples given?
He would eat sushi with a jeweler's loop to look for parasites.
Really? That's a great story. I will tell you this. I will say that was a joke.
It's getting me thinking. Maybe I should do that.
No, but you know what happened was a friend of mine had sent me some jewelry, and I'm looking at it, and he sent me a scope to look at it. So when he came in, what I did is to play a joke on the new kid. I just took the sushi that I had. I started looking at this. I'm looking at parasites. You don't do that? And I never told him it was a joke.
Oh, that's funny.
I just play jokes on people, and I guess around the writer's room, if somebody said something or showed weakness, I would attack them. And,
right. So you were aggressive back then.
Yeah, and it was, though, at a certain point where you realize, because at a certain point you say, this guy's an asshole, and the next point, when I'm the asshole now, so you can only do this so many years.
It seems like there's anyone who's been on Saturday Night Live writes a book about what it's like to be on Saturday Night Live. I just saw that Franken and Davis.
Yeah. Davis has written a book.
He just wrote a Saturday Night Live book. I actually been reading it.
30 years after he's been there.
I know, but I've been reading it, and it's like, you pick up odds and ends. I'm always fascinated for some reason about Saturday Night Live.
It wasn't. It's an institution, but I never spoke about it because I never talked about it in the books. People asked me about it. You know what? Because, hey, that was my break. Well, why would I step on that? I remember when I first got there, it was like, this is the greatest show ever.
What were you doing before you got? What were you doing?
I was a stand-up.
You were a stand-up.
I was barely even in show business.
How did you even get discovered by you?
I got on the HBO Young Comedian special, which is like, basic. And I was on David Letterman a couple times, which means you're in show business, right? Technically,
right.
But
you're working comedy clubs.
But you're working comedy clubs, trying to get acting work or whatever. And then, there's not a lot of really funny people out there. So if you're funny, I always figured, no, I'll get my break sometime. And then I was writing for Roseanne. Like I wrote one of her HBO specials, and then the next thing I know, she offered me something on there to play a gay guy on her sitcom back in the day. And then at the same time, I got offered Saturday Night Live. I said, you know what, Rosie, I got to take this.
Right.
Rob, you were on SNL when Alec Baldwin and Ken Basinger hosted, right? Were they fighting and stuff?
No, they weren't at all. Alec Baldwin was the most talented guy who ever hosted that show, in my opinion. Him and Christopher Walken.
Yeah,
those guys were.
I think you're right.
He was phenomenal.
Ever.
I mean, he's funny.
He could have been a cast member. He could have been.
Canteen Boy.
He should have been the biggest movie star in the world if movie stardom was fair.
You ever see a movie he did called Blue? What's the name of that?
Oh, yeah, Miami Blues.
Miami Blues.
He's amazing in that.
Yeah.
It's like, this guy's a freaking movie star. The fact that he didn't, it's not anything about him. It's just a weird, tough business.
Yeah, maybe he just didn't get the right movies or something.
That's all it's about. But he's still, I thank God he's working now, because even on TV, he's great.
Well, he turned down that franchise that Harrison Ford took over.
Not exactly. Yeah. He didn't really turn it down. He stopped instead of making that. He did a play on Broadway, and that's the one thing they'll never forgive you for.
Yeah,
right.
If you don't make, if Hollywood has a chance to make $200 million and you prevent them, they'll nail you for that.
Steve Martin was a great host.
Steve Martin was great.
But
yeah, Tom Hanks was good.
Tom Hanks.
But
yeah.
my favorites.
What about Jason Patrick?
He was, he's a really nice guy. I just think some stuff doesn't fly. His personalities don't cater to being explosive, and you got to.
Who was the worst?
God, when I was there, well, I don't know. There was the first show that I ever showed up on. Deborah Wenger was in the dressing room crying, going, "I can't believe you talked me into hosting it. It's awful." And she's crying. Is it like this every week?
Gee, why do people do this?
Yeah, I know. But even like. But who was really terrible at it? I don't know. Some of the stiff guys, like Jeremy Irons, I don't mind saying, was kind of a stiff.
Yeah.
And he just won the Academy Award, and he said something funny to me, which I thought was kind of a dicky thing to say. Because, like, when you first get started there, they give you, like, the shit jobs, which you don't realize are shit jobs. So, will you write the monologue? You're right. Nobody wants to write the monologue. And so you kind of write the first draft, and they kind of punch it up. Yeah. So Jeremy Irons, and he said to me, he said, "Oh, no, this line, it's not funny." He said, this isn't funny. This is funny. He just moves his fingers 2 inches over. This is funny, not this. And I went, oh, yeah, no, I'll go. I can make that change.
Yeah, great. I don't care.
The arrogant guys were like that.
I saw Lorne Michaels somewhere said Steven Seagal was actually the shittiest.
You know what? I liked him on it because he would say the crazy stories. Like for me, it's like the crazier the better.
Right.
Like because I did a couple movies with Stallone, and it's like the crazy things that guy did. It was like, to me, it's fascinating.
I know
because it's like it's beautiful.
What is fascinating? The behavior, the out of control behavior.
Like when Charlton Heston was the nicest guy I'd ever worked with, and in that show or anywhere else, because he would tell you stories about Cecil B. DeMille, and I should be writing this down, but it's going to be weird if I'm writing it down in front of him.
He might stop talking.
But he had a beautiful, wonderful and crazy quality. Like you couldn't put the wig. He had a toupee. You couldn't acknowledge that he had a toupee. So when he's wearing a toupee in the show, he had to put the toupee over his toupee. And I said that's beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
Is that right?
It was just a beautiful
thing. Out. You're telling me Charlton Heston, they put a toupee over his toupee?
Over his toupee.
Because you had to acknowledge that was his real hair.
And there's a great thing about when Seagal hosted. And Seagal was There's two things about, but when he was there's nothing to really talk to him about because but when
he's a deity.
But this is pre-deity.
This is when he was a regular guy.
Anyway, so Jim Downey, the head writer, was there. I'm just sitting around with them, and it's like, you don't know what the hell to say to Seagal. He says, hey, there's a thing in the newspaper about, there's the mob. It came out that they were, the mafia was in charge of getting rid of this toxic waste. And what they do, in Manhattan, they would top off the gasoline in the taxis with toxic waste and just burn it out in Manhattan. Anyway, so the next day he comes into this. He comes to SNL and he goes, I have proof that the mafia is taking toxic waste and topping it off in the gasoline of the taxi cabs. We just told you that yesterday! You can't yell that at the guys. Yeah, wow, that's interesting. You must get the inside scoop.
What is that?
You know what I'm thinking of, and I thought about it later, but he must have told that story 12, 15 times. He forgets where he heard the story. It's just that's a wonderful lunacy. It's a beautiful quality.
Wow.
I wish, God, it's just those things that you collect like diamonds.
Is this what goes on the set of the Adam Sandler movies? You guys sit around and tell old stories and crack each other up?
It's fun. I mean, we're literally, it's that kind of fun. But we work hard too.
But Seagal, that's the greatest.
You can hang around with him all the time.
I gotta just recreate
unbelievable proof.
Just follow him.
You should ask him for the proof.
I have proof that's unimpingible. That's such a word. The mafia is that he must have told it 25 times.
God.
Rob, how about Stallone? How about some wacky Stallone stories?
Well, first of all, you can't.
You worked with him on Judge Dredd,
I did 2 movies with him, one good one and one mediocre one. But it's like he hired me. So how do you say no? So how do you say you don't like a guy who wants to hire you? I want you to come to England for 6 months and bang college girls and make this movie. Oh, yeah? I'm there. I'll send you the script. You don't need to send me the script. Send me the ticket. But he was kind of, he had gone through, I guess it was just after his relationship with, where that gigantic blonde, the 7-foot blonde.
Nelson,
So he was in a, not particularly positive mood towards women. So he was on a tear.
Yeah.
So
banging everything on
we were at Thanksgiving, and by that time I'd known, 3 months working together, so he can't fire me now.
Right.
So I say, it's Thanksgiving. They got enough film on me where it would cost them way too much money. Right. So I can it's like, I can say, I want to do it, try it this way or whatever. What do you mean? You do it this way. But and then it was Thanksgiving. I said, hey, it's Thanksgiving. He said, yeah, so what? I go, we're going to take all the Americans out to dinner, right? Americans being me, the only other American there. And the only way I can get into clubs, because nobody knew who the hell I was on Saturday Night Live, I can get in places for the first time in my life, but I'm in England. I can't get in anywhere unless I'm with Stallone. Stallone takes so I can get in a club. And so he said, okay, we'll go out to dinner, of course. He said, you're going to get a big dinner and you're going to pay for everything. I go, why not? I'll charge you to the movie. I said, you're going to bring some girls, right? And he said, they'll be there. So anyway, so we go to this place. And it's a fancy club. It's like a Lanesborough, whatever. The Lanesborough, whatever. It's this beautiful restaurant, and it's packed. It's just packed. It's American. And then and there's a table that's like his 2 Goombas, his assistant and his bodyguard slash pimp or whatever he's got. And anyway, so. And then I said, where are the girls? He said, they'll be here. So we're cutting the turkey, and I look over, and I'm like, oh, my God. And he's like, literally, 10 girls good-looking girls, but there's something off about them because they're wearing the shortest skirts you've ever seen. Their asses are hanging out. Their boobs are hanging out. You've never seen like this, but they're pieces of ass. Just like they're not supermodels, but they're good-looking girls. I'm trying to figure out, but anyway, the restaurant clears out in 30 seconds. You never seen people get the check and everything. These old people get the hell out of there. The next thing you know, it's just this huge table with all these girls, and they're all looking at Stallone, and I'm trying to say, well, there's 10. There's got to be one. That he's only going to be able to bang 4, maybe 6, which leaves some residuals for his Goombas. I get 1, right?
Right.
So I'm talking to the girls, and then finally the girls all at his end of the table are all talking about him. So I go, okay, so I make some jokes about myself. He laughs. So what an idiot this guy is. So he tells some stories about Rocky or whatever. And finally I said, it's not working at this end of the table because they're all just staring at him. I can't get any attention. So I said, there's this, this Swedish girl down at the end of the table, and sort of if I go sit down, I start trying to get her attention and talking to her a little bit, and I go, and I go, what are you? And I'm trying to figure out who these girls are. Are you models? Are you, what? No, I said, too good looking for hookers, but there's something going on. Right. And I said, the ones Yavil.